to you all. Since we are beginning with our sadhana series, new recordings. So what we have started in the last sessions was understanding the basic construction of human mind and how they can be connected to your rubrics. In spite of taking only rubrics, we have started with the rubric understanding from the basic point of view. So how to evaluate a genetic constitutional simillimum. So what are the components which are there as an important faculty of GCS? So when we are understanding each component, so today we are going to take another aspect, and through that we will be entering the rubrics of these topics. So today, giving gratitude to Dr. Samuel Hahnemann sir. On Sunday, we had Guru Purnima. So without a guru, there is no light in your life or no direction in your life. So when we are heading towards any knowledge, any wisdom, any hard work, we need is a correct direction. Otherwise, we are just misleaded or misguided in the ocean without any efforts. We have, with even if we take a lot of efforts, but if there is no right guidance, we are misleaded just because we don't know where the path is or where the journey we have to lead. So, sir had already taken a lot of efforts through his life of 42 years of his practice, where he said that in homeopathy, you should know where you have to lead the path. And he was a believer of the science that he should guide the student not only to prepare a meal once and have the meal, but also he also guided that you should know how to cook the meal rather than just eating it up in a single plate, so that you never starve or you never die hungry. So this is what the method as a follower of Dr. Prafull Vijayakar sir, even I am trying to give you from the desk of Dr. Ruchi Jain's Homeopathy Clinic as an attempt of sadhana series to spread right predictive homeopathy to each student, guiding them through the basic knowledge so that they can have a good practice in their clinics. So today, those people who are very senior to me might find that they are very basic things which I have taken connected to the whole GCS. But yes, since very newcomers are there, new students have joined us, it will be very helpful for them and an opportunity to learn what sir used to say to us. So from different cases, from different experiences, all through my practice, I have been evaluating. These are the few things which I will be sharing today. So today's topic, as we have done emotions last time, we will try to understand the will today. So as we all know that when there is a will, there is a way. So, and we all know that we need strong determination, devotion, and dedication towards our practice. So all these faculties of devotion, dedication, and determination belong to the power of will, and they are nothing but the faculty which is being guided by Hahnemann sir, that these are the qualities which a physician should have when he is in the mission of curing the sick to health. And when you have a strong will towards your practice, you have a strong conscience in your practice that yes, there is no if and there is no but. Only thing is I have to do it. I have to follow the path being guided by our teachers. I have to follow all the disciplines, all the rules being laid down by the masters, and I have no shortcut to success. Only then the physician will have that strong determination and will get those results. There is no shortcut to success, and the willpower of the physician will definitely affect the willpower of the patient. If you have understanding of your true self, if the physician is aware of his own self, his own weaknesses, his own strengths, his own powers, only then he will be an unprejudiced observer, and that unprejudiced observer will see and visualize the true image of the patient. And when we are heading towards coming to a right constitutional medicine, we need to understand different faculties of human brain, his emotions, his intellectual behaviors, and the stresses he has gone through all his life. So this is the journey which we have to take today. So the cardinal principles of homeopathy is definitely dependent upon the law of similia similibus curantur, and these laws cannot be changed. Since so many years, homeopathy is standing upon these principles and which have not changed. Our belladonna, which was acting and creating the same symptoms way back, is still acting in the same way and creating the same symptoms and affecting the same constitutional exactly in the same mode of treatment what it was 2200 years back and today also. So the law and the principles, they never change. And since our homeopathy is based on the principles or the nature's law of cure, it is definitely going to be a rapid, gentle cure process, and the progress of the disease has to be evaluated in a perfect way so that we come to the exact minimum, and few doses with minimal potency with dynamization will give you miraculous results, and that can only happen if you follow the wonderful science of homeopathy. So just going ahead, so as we all know that there is no shortcut to success, so therefore there is no shortcut to case taking also. So importance of case taking, as has been mentioned by Dr. Hahnemann sir, there are no many people who come to us and ask ki why do we need, even patients have a doubt ki we have been suffering only from coryza and you are asking us from the childhood to our workspace, what value will it add to the medicine or the remedy selection? We don't have time, so just prescribe us and just give a shortcut remedy. No, say no and start learning to see what is the right homeopathy and what is the right way or right journey to lead this path. So this is what even Hahnemann sir has mentioned in aphorism number 4, ki when you are evaluating the individualistic approach and you have to see what is PQRS in a case, you have to understand the totality of symptom, because that will help you to distinguish the case from common disease to the uncommon disease. The picture of the disease, whatever it can be, but it has to be accurately sketched so that the most difficult task is accomplished. So what he wants to say is if you have done the case taking perfectly in the right manner, half work is done. We have so many cases coming to our desk. We if we don't prescribe on the same day, the patient just gives the case, goes away, comes back after 7 days, and the patient says ki, ma'am, we are 50% better. After the remedy, my itching has settled down, my complaints have settled down, the pain has come down. So, how was this done? So, the process of understanding the whole evolution of this constitution, we try to penetrate to the subconscious mind of the patient, and when we are unlocking this aspect of human mind, mental catharsis happens, and when you evaluate the case completely without any shortcut, this mental catharsis helps to start the healing process immediately once the patient is narrating symptoms to you, right? So there is no wonder and no surprise to us that we get so good results and why we take so much pains to take complete history. So this is what Hahnemann sir has said. So we follow whatever Hahnemann sir has guided. And as we all know, organon of medicine is nothing less than a Bible to you, right? So aphorism number 83 gives you the guideline that how this individualizing examination or the case taking needs to be done, and how we have to attain the complete totality by paying attention and observing everything which is being guided and mentioned in the case. And as we know that while doing the case taking, we try to evaluate the emotional pathology. We try to understand the cause and effect correlation of a case. Let's take an example. A patient is coming to you and she's a child, she's a middle-aged girl. Even in this era, she's 22 years. So today, if you expect a 22-year-old young girl coming to your desk, how she should be dressed, right? How should be looked up? And the freedom these people enjoy, techno-friendly freedom they have, the attitudes these people have, the way they talk, and everything. But if a girl of 22-year-old who is belonging to a city like Nagpur and who is a well-educated personality going to a college but comes with long hair, fully beaded, lot of oil applied, looking down, not having eye contacts with you, not able to utter a single word. Mother is trying to overpower the child, and the girl is not even able to express the emotions in front of you or express the symptoms in front of you. So, what will happen? That is what Hahnemann sir says, ki you should, through the guided symptoms at the physical level, please enter the faculty of mind. So we will take the discussion of this case and how we have to evaluate every faculty of the mind. So we can understand, obviously, this girl who is sitting over the desk is not having that proper confidence enough that she can at least express her emotions. And if she's not expressing her emotions, virtually, or virtually, not virtually, but verbally to her parents, what will happen? These suppressed emotions will lead a track and they will affect the physical constitution, leading to some other complaints. Or she came to us with the complaints of bony pains, leg pains, joint pains, and psychotic presentation which has come up. So we could understand that this psychotic presentation was was connection. So we need to understand the whole constitution of man and what is there when we are understanding this human constitution as a complete personality and the sick, not the parts which are being affected. We don't see that this is a patient of arthritis, this is a patient of eczema, or this is the patient of diabetes, but we are not seeing only the parts, we see the constitution as a whole. And this is nothing but what Hahnemann sir has described in aphorism number 1 is the sick. And what constitutes the man? Man is a complete personality which constitutes not only the will, moral, intellect, but the constitution starts right from the beginning of the cell being divided in the mother's womb. So our journey starts before the conception when our parents try that yes, we want to bring a child to this world. So everything, every part of your journey on this earth begins at that moment, and everything is trying to affect you. And as a result of the cause and effect relationship, the need versus demand, which is being fulfilled throughout the journey of the mind, we evaluate as a man and we form as either we will be introvert or an extrovert. So how an introvert and extrovert is evolved? So we need to understand the evolution. As in this child, I told you that this is a 22-year-old female who is coming to us. So we can clearly mention that this female is an introvert girl, could not express herself and just having their lack of eye contact and answering in few words. So definitely she's an introvert personality. So what we have to do in case taking is we have to understand why this person is introvert and why this person is extrovert. So introvert है तो क्यों है, extrovert है तो क्यों है? अगर वो इंट्रोवर्ट है तो उसके पीछे के रीजंस में जाओ. हमने जैसे इमोशंस में समझने की कोशिश किया कि एक इंसान इंट्रोवर्ट इसीलिए भी हो सकता है, लैक ऑफ कॉन्फिडेंस के कारण भी हो सकता है, सीक्रेटिवनेस के कारण भी हो सकता है, not ready to reveal, not ready to talk, not ready to trust, and a basic emotions like मैं माइल्ड हूँ, मैं ज्यादा बात नहीं करता, I don't want to disturb others. If I disturb others, people will intrude into my personal life, which I don't want. So better to be quiet. I just don't want this noise. I have aversion to noise, so I don't want to talk. I am therefore an introvert. So definitely you have to go and dig further to understand. Always ask the questions ki why, when, how, where, and which. So if a person is coming to you with introvert attitude, with extrovert attitude, please try to understand why he's introvert. In front of mother who is so dominating, the girl was unable to talk. So that introvertedness may be because of the dominating nature. Then later on, in the case when we are trying to reveal everything, then the patient will tell you, अरे मम्मा को मत बताना, I talk so much. I just talk when my mother is not there. I don't like talking in front of her. If I utter a single word, she will just keep on barging upon me. So better I keep quiet in front of her. So this is also introvert nature. Extrovert, again, primary introverts, primary extroverts, and primary introverts, secondary extroverts, and secondary introverts. This is what Sir has given. So this is how we go ahead. Then will, this is the topic which we are going to take today. So will also be explained later on. Then we need to understand the intellectual capabilities of the personality. So next lecture will be based upon the intellect and intellect assessments and how the intellectual capabilities, memories, and the decision making powers and everything can help you in understanding the constitution. So that will be the second part or the third lecture of this series. Then morals, yes, we have to understand morals very deeply, because a person, if you have to understand morals will also be taken separately by me, because morals is also a very huge topic. And as sir has said, if you want someone to imbibe morals in the constitution, it is very close to the genetic constitution, because morals cannot be changed of a person. Morals do not alter throughout the life. A person having a bad moral will be a person having a bad moral. If he's in psychosis, yes, he might hide his intentions of bad morals, but bad morals will be bad morals always throughout the life. So morals also help you to filter the remedies belonging to good morals, like metals with like orums, they have high intellect with good moral remedies, so they will be filtered easily if you apply that good moral and bad moral. So we will take it separately. Then defense mechanisms of the individual. As we all know, in psychology, there are 12 defense mechanisms which are very differently placed. The defense processes like rationalization, escapism. Like we have seen two lectures back where we tried to see that the patient was trying to escape from the reality in Alzheimer's disease. So we saw that Alzheimer's disease is because the defense mechanism which the person has adapted was escapism and escaping from the reality just to blunt down his senses and suffering with dementia. The defense processes over here is not only the psychiatric or the psychological defenses, but also the miasmatic defenses of the body, that is SORA, psychosis, and syphilis. So we all know these are the defense processes. If we have soric as a defense, psychosis, and syphilis, the disease will mold itself in that form. The speed of the constitution. So we know that speed may vary. A person has got hasty speech, can be slow, dull. Definitely, a person having very slow speed cannot be given tarantula. A person having very sluggish, very slow speed can be given carbons, can be given calcareas. So a speed also helps you to define and filter the genetic constitution and coming up to a right remedy. Then natural urges, desires, and attachment. So people ask me ki what is the role of physical generals, and these are the questions which was being put into my WhatsApp. So therefore, I'm addressing those questions, that what is the significance of taking the physical generals in our case taking process. So friends, if you take physical generals, then they can be syphilitic physical generals, and even in psoriatic diseases and acute inflammation, these desires, these attachments help you to come to a right remedy. Example, if a person has got a strong craving for warm drink with fluent coryza, with fastidiousness, with chili, and thirsty with sips of water. But if the person is thirstless with craving, same constitution, with craving for cold drink, definitely arsenic will not go. For the first case, arsenic will be the remedy. Clinging, clinging to the furniture, clinging to the mother, the natural urges, like I don't drink throughout the day, but as it starts, I go to the bed, and during sleep, I have an intense craving that I should have some water, and I wake up midnight with that thirst, and then I have to drink water, and again I sleep. डॉक्टर साहब मैं पूरा दिन उतना पानी नहीं पीऊंगी जितना मैं रात को पीऊंगी. So that becomes significant. A patient coming and telling you that I feel hungry when I am asleep. So this is not physiology natural, because natural urges tell you that naturally when you go down to the sleep, your appetite and everything gets re-accomplished, and your DNA repair, your growth cycle, their growth hormones need to be enhanced. And a natural sleep, a good sleep after you wake up will definitely give you a good cycle throughout the day. But someone who wakes up midnight and with strong appetite and strong hunger, like the remedies, you will find that sulfur is also there in that group. So these strong desires, these strong cravings will lead you to a remedy. A lachesis cannot tolerate tied around the abdomen. A phosphorus wants to uncover the abdomen during the pain. A colocin wants to bend down the double. A magnesium cannot tolerate milk. So these natural desires, these attachments will tell you the specific remedy guideline. So in psoriatic, in syphilitic, they are very prominent and they can lead you to a remedy selection. What happens in psychotic cases, these physical generals, they help you to evaluate a drug picture. But if it is a strong syphilitic symptom, yes, it can guide you as a rule out for the remedy. So then again, sensitivity, like the physical sensitivities, the mental sensitivities we have seen, like sensitivity to criticism, sensitivity to what we say, sensitivity to admonition. These are all faculties which are belonging to the constitution. Then physical sensitivities like sun, moon, and moon phases aggravation, the periodicity, what we say, that periodicity of time, cedron comes up at fever at only specific time, China comes up. So these specific sensitivities will also come in this category. Then tolerances is also a faculty of sensitivity, that I cannot tolerate the piercing noise. As we have seen in autistic cases, they are very sensitive to noise. So they try to press the ear. This is what we have seen. So what comes common and what comes uncommon, right? So tolerances can also help you to discriminate between a right and a wrong similimum. Cosmic affections, as I have seen, rains. If someone says ki exactly if it is going to rain, I can understand that it is going to rain because I will go dull. I have many physical complaints, many emotional complaints. Before any earthquake comes up, I can feel the sensitivity, the person getting sensitive to new moon, full moon. I have patients coming to up that mouth ulcers come up only during new moon. There is arthritis, bone pains, redness, congestions during full moon, asthma coming up during full moon. Then exactly periods, they start, menses start on the time when the new moon comes up. Even the person says कि time के जो time पे पूर्णिमा लगने वाली है, जो time पे अमावस्या लगने वाली है, उस समय the first drop will fall down. So these cosmic affections do carry a value. So mental changes, yes, we find we try to determine the disposition of the personality, the changed disposition, which is very important in soric, syphilitic, and psychotic cases. All so change disposition and disposition along with the mental disposition and the physical disposition helps you in determining the constitution. So now how to understand this? As we all know, we are followers of predictive homeopathy, and Sir has very well described the case taking part in his book Theory of Miasms, acutes की case taking theory of acutes, and genetic materia medica में he has beautifully given in the first chapter that how you have to evaluate the constitution and how to learn that what is the GCS of this personality. So what is GCS is genetic constitutional simillimum, and as we all know that GCS comprises of his relationship. We have to understand how the person is, how the patient is, what is his mode of living and diet is. Like I would say ki the girl which I was talking about, 22-year-old, if she's belonging to a community which is very free and frank, who give lot of liberal upbringing to the children, and if still the child is very submissive, yes, then that becomes a PQRS. But if the child belongs to a community which is very orthodox, belonging to a community which is having lot of restrictions in the life, yes, then that doesn't become a very PQRS, because that domination, that female liberalism is not so common in the society. So this female cannot be taken that this is too timid. But yes, timid constitution. But if someone belonging to a community which is very, very a restrictive family, and there the girl says ki I'm very ambitious and I want to achieve this and I will go to any level, I will do love marriage if I want to do, and I will break all the rules. Yes, then that becomes very important. His occupation, his domestic position, his relationships, everything carries an important meaning and adds the value to the totality. So his why we are taking all these faculties, as we all know, that Sir would say ki whatever is given in the aphorism, try to read each and every word of the aphorism and practice the same thing into your daily clinics. So if Hahnemann sir has said ki you have to determine the PQRS, you have to evaluate the totality, only then you can come to a right simillimum, only then the cure will be ascertainable. But this can be only done if you are an unprejudiced observer, you have the faculty of perseverance in your life, and you have high morals to treat your patient. Then you have to investigate the complete totality through understanding his morals and his intellectual characters. Everything needs to be taken into consideration to understand the fundamental cause of the disease. And when you treat the fundamental cause of the disease, then the cure will definitely ensure. So mental makeup comprises of these faculties of will, intellect, morals, natural traits, emotions, fear, anxieties, attachments, sensitivities, tolerances, likes and desires. And we all know this constituents is just like an iceberg. Whatever behavior we are seeing in front of us is just a resultant of the whole process which is going deep inside. आज जो हम पेड़ को बहुत बड़ा रूप में देख रहे हैं, उसकी कई दिनों की, कई वर्षों की मेहनत है कि रूट्स उसके बहुत डीप डाउन है, तब वो आपको प्लांट उतना दिख रहा है ऊपर. तो वो सारी जो चीजें हैं, दैट इज फ्रॉम द सबकॉन्शियस माइंड विच इज गाइडिंग द बिहेवियर or everything which is visible here. So the willpower can be seen. So the rubrics of the willpower can be also as an observative things, because that is what we can see through. How to understand now willpower is understand the crisis situations of the life and how the person has behaved in this crisis all throughout his life. That means, again I will say, कि जो विल पावर, उसका मेमोरी, उसका थिंकिंग, उसका प्रोसेसिंग, ये सारा जो चीजें हैं वो अफेक्ट होगा उसके बिलीफ सिस्टम से, उसके इमोशन से, उसके इंट्यूशन से, उनके इमेजिनेशन से. एग्जाम्पल देती हूँ इस चीज का कि हम आगे बढ़ेंगे इस चीज को कि विल कैसे डेवलप होता है और हमारा विल जो है वो कैसे एग्जीक्यूट करता है अपनी लाइफ को और कैसे अफेक्ट करते हैं। तो विल पावर होता क्या है, विल कैसे समझना है, और किसी भी केस में विल हमको रेमेडी तक के कैसे लेके जाएगा, व्हाट विल बी द rubrics which will be different from the will. So we need to understand, when we are understanding this trinity of will, intellect, and morals, or the drive, motive, and the trinity, we need to understand the Maslow's theory of needs. तो हर किसी का एक बेसिक नीड रहेगा, और उस बेसिक नीड के आधार पे वो सारी चीजें गाइड होगी। अब इसी चीज को आप सेल के लेवल पे देख लो, तो अगर एक सेल की बेसिक नीड है कि उसको ऑक्सीजन चाहिए, उसका बेसिक फंक्शन ये है, एग्जाम्पल द सेल बिलोंगिंग टू योर लंग्स, द टिश्यू विच इज बिलोंगिंग टू योर लोअर रेस्पिरेटरी सिस्टम। तो अगर एल्वुलाई के लेवल पे सेल और टिश्यूज है, तो उसका फंक्शन ये है कि एक्सचेंज ऑफ गैसेस करना। तो अगर लंग्स के लेवल पे एक्सचेंज ऑफ गैसेस करना है, तो थिक सेल्स वहां पे कोई काम नहीं करेगी। तो वहां पे what is being placed over there according to the need, there is a squamous cell epithelium which is lining the alveoli, and that squamous cell epithelium is a thin layer which allows free exchange of gases, which is very easily done through the alveoli and the alveoli membranes. So this only happens according to the need. So we are also being driven in our life according to the need, according to our willpower, and according to the determination to achieve that will. So through this model, if I try to explain, like you have few individuals in your life, you will see that जिनकी लाइफ में सिर्फ रोटी कपड़ा मकान ये मिल गया ना, लाइफ मजे से चल रही है, अरे क्या ही करना है, आज का खाना मिल गया बहुत खुश है हम, कल की कौन चिंता करेगा, कौन इवोल्यूशन की बात करेगा, कौन ज्यादा पढ़ाई करेगा, कौन मेहनत करेगा, बस दो वक्त की रोटी मिल जाए, दो कपड़े मिल जाए, और एक छोटी सी छत मिल जाए, बस दैट्स इट। So those are the people who are driving their life force only at the basic level of physiological needs, and you will also see these are the people who are striving for their bread and butter. So they don't think, because their instinct is only survival, because their life is not driving them that they can think beyond this survival need. क्योंकि मैम हम एजुकेशन की बाद में सोचेंगे ना अपने बच्चों की, पहले हम अपने बच्चों को खाने की तो दो वक्त की जुगाड़ कर पाए। सो दैट इज वेयर द फिजियोलॉजिकल नीड is there. So if those people are not being satisfied with their physiological need, they will be driven towards that only. घर से जाते हैं, दो वक्त की कमा के आते हैं, घर पे चूल्हा चक्कर करेंगे और फिर सो जाएंगे। दैट इज व्हाट देयर लाइफ इज being restricted to. But if you get satisfied in your life and you feel that yes, now we have sufficient food to eat, 1 year का स्टोरेज है हमारे पास अनाज का, वी नो दैट हमारे पास राशन पानी पूरे महीने भर का जुगाड़ बहुत अच्छे से है, एंड वी डोंट हैव एनी डेफिशिएंसीज इन अ लाइफ, एंड बहुत अच्छा घर बन रहा है, तो हम नेक्स्ट स्टेप पे क्या सोचेंगे कि हमको अब एक ऐसा फैमिली एक्सपेंशन चाहिए, या हमको ऐसे पर्सन चाहिए जो हमारे रिसोर्सेज को एक्सपैंड कर सके। अब मुझे अपनी फैमिली के बारे में सोचना चाहिए, मुझे अब एक काम करना चाहिए कि अब सब जो पैसे बचते हैं उससे मैंने फ्यूचर की सिक्योरिटी के बारे में सोचना चाहिए, एक प्रॉपर्टी में इन्वेस्टमेंट के बारे में सोचना चाहिए, मैंने अब मेरी फैमिली को सिक्योर करके मैंने दूसरी फैमिलीज के बारे में, या मेरी एक्सटेंडेड जो फैमिलीज है उनको सपोर्ट के बारे में सोचना चाहिए। आई शुड स्टार्ट वर्किंग एंड आई शुड एम्प्लॉय माई पीपल, और आई शुड ऑल्सो सर्च फॉर एजुकेशन फर्दर, क्योंकि मेरा बेसिक 10th हो चुका है, बेसिक एजुकेशन फुलफिल हो चुके हैं। सो आई वॉन्ट दैट ईगरनेस, दैट process within me, that I should enhance my knowledge and I should take more efforts so that I increase my knowledge at that level. So that is the safety net. Then comes when you feel that yes, अभी पेट भर गया, पानी मिल गया, बढ़िया सी नींद हो गई, चलो अब मेरे पास छत भी है, तो अब एक काम करते, नाउ आई एम ग्रोन अप, नाउ आई एम इन द एज दैट आई वांट नाउ दैट आई शुड हैव समवन हु कैन से कि yes, this is belong to me and this is mine. I should share my emotional bondages with them. I should have that security in relationship, because now I cannot, I am an independent person. So I want that someone should be there into my life. So you start hunting. देखो 10th 12th तक के तो मेजर क्रशेस ही होंगे, थोड़े बहुत इन्फैक्चुएशंस होंगे, बट उसके बाद देन यू स्टार्ट हंटिंग फॉर अ लाइफ पार्टनर with whom you want to spend the whole life. So this need of having a secured life in relationship makes you to register into shadi.com or getting कुंडली निकालो ममा आप ढूंढो and I want a perfect partner, मेरे सपनों का सौदागर ऐसा होना चाहिए and something like that. This is what my demand is, and I want this particular kind of a girl in my life. These should be the particular qualities I have. I have these aspirations in my life, so my partner should understand that, and I want that my family should expand, and me and my husband should live happily in this life, or me and my wife and my children should have a secured life. So this is what comes to love and belonging. Then you know that when you have a good family, then you want to socialize. Then you want to expand yourself at the social level. You want to join kitty parties. You go to the social gatherings. Then you join business groups. You join many things. But you always think of all these things of achievement, respect, and social positions when your basic needs are well accomplished. If you are striving hard for the struggle into your own family, तुम बाहर जाके क्या कॉन्फिडेंस शो करोगे? तो जो 22 ईयर की गर्ल है, द गर्ल हु इज कमिंग टू माई डेस्क, the mother was so much dominating and so much humiliating to her. ये तो कुछ करती ही नहीं है, ये तो कुछ सुनती ही नहीं है, उठती ही नहीं है, कितना भी इसको समझाओ, इसमें कॉन्फिडेंस ही नहीं है, ये मार्केट तक के एक जॉब नहीं कर सकती, ये मार्केट तक के 1 किलो टमाटर लेने नहीं जा सकती. एंड ये सारा जब चीजें रहेगा, तो क्या वो बंदी अपने कॉन्फिडेंस को ग्रो कर पाएगी? क्या वो खुद को रिस्पेक्ट कर पाएगी, या वो दूसरों को रिस्पेक्ट कर पाएगी? तो ऑल दी सप्रेस्ड इमोशंस hamper is her own confidence, her own self identity. और वहीं पर शी विल सफर विद डिजीजेस ऑफ आइडेंटिटी क्राइसिस, और वेयर शी विल से कि आई डोंट हैव दैट सेल्फ एस्टीम, मेरा तो क्या है, मेरी क्या ही वैल्यू है, मैं तो ना घर की हूँ ना मेरी घाट की हूँ, मैं दूसरों को क्या जाऊंगी, मैं कॉलेज में क्या स्टेज पे परफॉर्मेंस दूंगी, क्योंकि मेरी मदर तो मुझे घर पे ही परफॉर्म नहीं करने देती है. मैं अगर एक गिलास पानी का भी लेके जाऊं खुद के लिए या मम्मा के लिए, तो शी विल जस्ट क्रिटिसाइज मी कि ये पानी ट्रे में लेके आना था. अगर मैं ट्रे में लेके जाऊं तो मम्मा बोलती है, अरे एक ही तो थी, मैं घर में ही तो आना था, कौन से मेहमान बचे थे जो तू. तो देर वॉज अ कॉन्ट्राडिक्टरी सिचुएशन विच वॉज कंटिन्यूसली द चाइल्ड वॉज फाइटिंग टू. तो इफ समथिंग सो मच ऑफ कॉन्ट्राडिक्टरी इज देयर इन लाइफ, then the confidence will never grow. So what you are seeing was introvertedness, but what was the need was to build up the esteem. But this esteem is not a day process. आपको पता है ना, जब आप एक एक स्टेप पे बाहर बढ़ते हो, जैसे आपने अगर बच्चे को देखा होगा, तो बच्चा जब क्रेडल में होता है, जब वो हाथ फैलाता है, वो जो टर्न होता है, तो पहली बार जब टर्न होता है ना, तो डर ऐसे शॉक होता है. फिर जब वो एक बार टर्न हो गया, फिर उसको मजा आने लगता है ऑन द टमी टमी टाइम जिसको हम बोलते हैं. तो देन ही एंजॉय, देन ही स्टार्ट क्रॉलिंग, देन ही स्टार्ट स्टैंडिंग, देन ही व्हेन ही स्टैंड्स ही gains that confidence. Now I won't fall, that fear of falling goes away, and then he starts putting up steps. So जो ये चलने वाली प्रोसेस, इट इज ऑल थ्रू. तो जो तुम कॉन्फिडेंस देख रहे हो, जो तुम लोगों की पर्सनालिटी में आज देख रहे हो कि दे आर वेरी गुड ओरेटर्स, दे आर सक्सेसफुल पीपल इन देयर लाइफ, दे आर वेरी मच अचीवर्स इन देयर लाइफ. अगर हम सर का एग्जाम्पल लेते हैं, अभी गुरु पूर्णिमा पे देर वॉज अ वेरी ब्यूटिफुल शेयरिंग विच वॉज डन बाय सर on that day, how good psychosis and bad psychosis is, and how good psychosis is very essential in developing and achieving things in your life, and that good psychosis helps you to develop your whole personality, whole throughout your life. So how that affects, so what sir gave the example was like the big stars who have done so much hard efforts in their life. So the achievement is not a boom of one day. I'll give another example. Since we are in the YouTube world, we are in the world of viral videos getting up in overnight the person gets the success, and overnight one day stunt and they get very successful, but then after few months they just vanish from that media world. But those people who have been achieving step by step, step by step, step by step, though they are getting success in this viral world, but they don't vanish because their personality is being intruded to you through those achievements all these years, and it is not a one night stunt and not a one night success that they are successful overnight. They need lot of effort, they need lot of that is all the willpower guides you. That is the willpower which takes you to this level of height. And now going to the peak of this triangle of self actualization, where you talk about good models, you talk about creativity, you talk about spontaneity, you talk about problem solving. So if your whole basic needs are being fulfilled, when you feel secure, you have high ambitions, not only for the self, but for the society. When you want to, you go beyond that. Like, I'll give an example that over a period of time, if you have read the book of autobiography of Yogi by Swami Parmanand, so you will understand ki how our journey of life begins. So it is not only the end of life by having satiety at the level of food and water, but it is the journey of going deep within yourself and journey to identify what you are and who you are, and what is the purpose of your life which you have born in this earth. So all these things are the faculty of self actualization, but that only comes up when you overpower your its your basic needs, your basic desires, and you strive yourself harder from all the adverse situations of your life, and you never give up. So those people who have got very good willpower will be the people who will step the ladder to self-actualization, and they will just cross all these things, and they will be the achievers of these life. And they are the people with high willpower, because they are not working just in a day, but they have achieved and they have overpowered all these steps, and then they have left, they are on the highest peak. So willpower is so essential in the life, because that is the guiding force, or that is the driving force which helps you to be what you are today. So if you see a patient, that girl, what I'm talking about, 22 years old, if I tell her कि if I see, case taking is an art, right? So how willpower will help you in this case taking. तो अगर ये girl का कोई new person case taking लेगा, तो क्योंकि वो 22 years old है, अच्छा आपका ambition क्या है? वो बोली एम्बिशन क्या होता है? और फिर क्वेश्चन अगेन आता है, अच्छा आप अपने एम्बिशन को पूरा करने के लिए क्या करते हो? आप, क्योंकि जो फिजिशियन है वो एम्बिशियस है, लेकिन वो ये नहीं समझ रहा है कि वीक विल्ड पर्सनालिटी है, तो इसके डिफेंस मैकेनिज्म्स अलग रहेंगे, इसके क्वेश्चंस अलग रहेंगे, इसकी लाइफ अलग रहेगी, तो वो कभी भी कनेक्ट नहीं कर पाएगी। पर अगर आप ये देख रहे हो कि पर्सनालिटी कैसे डेवलप हुई है, उसकी डिफेंस प्रोसेसेस क्या है, उसके नीड्स, गोल और ड्राइव क्या है, और अब अगर आप ये मोटिवेशन साइकिल को समझ पाओगे कि उसकी डेफिशिएंसीज क्या है लाइफ में और वो कहाँ पे सेटिस्फाइड है, उसके हिसाब से उसका लाइफ साइकिल चलेगा ना। एग्जाम्पल लेती हूँ मैं कि आई एक्सपेक्ट दैट टूडेज जनरेशन इज वेरी टेक्नो फ्रेंडली, ठीक है, सो दैट वाज अ मिस्टेक व्हिच आई डिड, but then I, over a period of time, I came to know it is not that everyone is techno friendly. It is not everyone's desire is to be an IITN, and it is not everyone's desire is to reach that goal. लेकिन जिस तरीके से आप अपना गोल सेट करोगे, उस तरीके से लाइफ ड्राइव होगी। तो हमको, हमारे पेशेंट को वो क्वेश्चंस पूछते हैं कि वो किस तरीके से अपनी लाइफ लीड करता है, क्या गोल्स है उसकी लाइफ के। हर किसी के लाइफ के गोल्स डिफरेंट हो सकते हैं। एक छोटा सा बच्चा जो 5 साल का आपके पास बैठा है, वो भी सपने देख सकता है कि मुझे डॉक्टर बनना है, और वहीं पर 25 साल का आदमी भी ये बोल सकता है, यार मेरे तो आज तक के गोल ही नहीं सेट किया। 10th स्टैंडर्ड में हूँ, 11th स्टैंडर्ड है, 12th स्टैंडर्ड है। दिस इज द हाई टाइम व्हेन पीपल डिसाइड दैट व्हाट करियर दे हैव टू सिलेक्ट। So therefore they will be guided. If you want to be become an IITN, so that has to be decided in 10th standard. ताकि आप 11th में you take maths, you take PCM, and then you lead your life in that way, and you have to give entrances for IIT, right? Then you become an engineer. If you have to become a doctor, you have to set your goal and you have to वर्क अपॉन इट. आप JEE दे के डॉक्टर नहीं बन सकते, और आप डॉक्टर बनना है तो आप क्यों मैथ्स में अपना दिमाग खपाओगे? नहीं, यू हैव टू वर्क हार्ड फॉर बायोलॉजी. सो दैट इज व्हाट हमको हर केस में समझने की कोशिश करना है कि पेशेंट किस तरीके से अपने गोल्स को अचीव कर रहा है लाइफ में. अगर पर्सन किस तरीके से अपने आप को पूरा झोंक देता है टू अचीव द गोल्स, कितनी चीजें उसको डाइवर्ट करती है, कितनी इजी डाइवर्शन आते हैं. बहुत लोग हमारे क्लिनिक में आएंगे, दे विल बी लाइक आपने 11 का अपॉइंटमेंट दिया ना, तो आई एम देयर एट 11 o'clock. सो दैट शोज that they are so punctual with the time that they want to reach their destiny because that was the goal. They will set the timing accordingly. मुझे 9 बजे पहुंचना है तो आई विल वेक अप बाय 7. अगर मुझे 11 बजे पहुंचना है, आई विल ट्राई टू कंप्लीट माय टास्क एंड आई विल ट्राई टू अचीव दैट गोल एनी हाउ, by hook or by crook. And whatever the person will have, it will be driven by that force. Because I'll give you an example again. If I feel, ma'am, I'm very punctual with time. Okay, you reached here by 11. So why you're punctual with time? I don't want that someone should criticize. So this criticism, आपने मुझे बोला 11 बजे, और अगर आपने मुझे ये बोला अंकल जी आप 11:05 पे आए, वो जो बात बोले ना आपने, वो मुझसे बर्दाश्त नहीं होगी. बिकॉज that is my weakness. I cannot take a slightest criticism. So that is also a faculty of being sensitivity to criticism, and therefore I will act as if I have to reach there on time. So I'm always punctual, क्योंकि this can be one of the reason that I'm sensitive to criticism. Second, बचपन में मैंने बहुत मार खाई है, बहुत. मेरे पापा बहुत स्ट्रिक्ट थे और बिल्कुल डंडा लेके मेरे पीछे भागते थे कि 11:11 2 मिनट नहीं होना चाहिए, नहीं तो हंटर पड़ेगा. तो वो जो फियर था ना मुझे, वो फियर के कारण मैं आज शेप्ड अप हूँ एंड आई एम सो पंक्चुअल इन माय टाइम. So carcinosin can be a drug which has come up because of strict parenting, that the person is so punctual right now. They're so sensitive in today's world. Then a person can be like, I am very punctual, I am very time bounded, I don't want minute to go here and there. And it is not only me that minute should go here and there, I want the other people should also work according to the clock. And I see to it into my office also that everyone is on time. I see that my children wake up. So see the talk they are talking about. So this is the willpower they are showing, that they are belonging to the constitution of dogmatic and dominating, who are time punctual. These can also be remedies like cupromet, who is so dominating, dogmatic, equally time punctual, because they don't want this finger should also move towards them. So they are like people who will dominate others also. So this will, need and goal, the people, how they achieve everything. You ask the questions, acha, they will tell you, I was a gold medalist in my college. Okay. So how did you achieve that gold medal? What was your hobbies, and what were the efforts you have taken? Then you will understand those people who have been driven with this good willpower. They will tell you कि भूखे मर जाते थे कभी कभी, या we would not have food to eat, no time to sleep, and still we wanted to achieve that goal, and we would take all the efforts. Like I have seen there so many movies which are based on the autobiographies, and you will come to know कि they are the achievers in the life, but the satisfaction they get through serving people, through achieving their goal, they are so determined and they are constant in their life. So these all faculties which you see in your case taking will be the faculty of will, that is determination, getting honest. No, honesty is conscience ka part, but determination, industrious, constant, contrary, then these are all the rubrics which will fall into the category of willpower. So how will help you to understand the genetic constitutional simillimum? This is what we are understanding. And also, when we are trying to understand the emotional pathology, we have to understand what tissues will be affected when the will is affected of the mind. मतलब क्या? ये चीज, this is a contribution which I have understood through lot many cases, that every tissue will have its own affinity, every tissue will have its own tensile strength, and every tissue will have its own cause and effect correlationship. Like we have seen in previous cases, if the mother perceives that I don't want to hear, the sensitivity of the nerves at the ear ending is to the noise or to the something bad news which the mother did not want to hear. So the tissue which was affected was the ears. Similarly, if a person will is being affected, so this is the thought process which I'm trying to give you, that please be alert now, because you will understand the tissues which are getting affected because of the willpower. So what is a will? Let us understand what is willpower and how it comes into your life. So it is used to express frequent, customary or habitual action or natural tendency or disposition. मतलब क्या? This belongs to the constitution, it belongs to disposition of the personality or a natural tendency of the person to strive hard. So this is not something which can be learned in 1 day or 2 days. It cannot be adapted just because I want to, so I will do it in 1 day. No, it needs lot of hard work, lot of self-disciplinary way and continue process that it becomes a part of your disposition, right? So it is not something which is temporary. Will is something which is very close to your genetic constitution or the genes. So it is used to express determination, insistence, persistence, or willfulness. So a person, as it is a part of natural tendency or disposition, it is not something which can be just adapted over a period of short duration. So it is capability or sufficiency to do something or to achieve the goal, whatever the targets have been set in the life, हमको उसको achieve करना है. Then it is an ability to control one's actions, emotions or urges. मतलब क्या? अगर आई टेक ईच एंड एवरीथिंग इन डिटेल, जैसे हमने देखा कि इट इज अ पार्ट ऑफ डिस्पोजिशन. क्यों अ पार्ट ऑफ डिस्पोजिशन है, वो हमने हैनमन सर ने हमको बताया कि दे आर पार्ट ऑफ द टेंडेंसीज, हाउ डिस्पोजिशन इज बीइंग गाइडेड अप एंड हाउ योर विल पावर, योर मोटिव, ड्राइव और द एवोल्यूशन ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन विल अफेक्ट द होल natural tendency or the disposition of the man, and how this willpower take you to that peak of Maslow's theory, and how it helps in determination and striving you hard to achieve that goal. Because वो जो विल पावर है वो आपको ऊपर तक के लेके जाएगा. अगर आप लोगों ने मूवी देखी होगी ऊंचाई करके, there was a new movie which was being released. It was a movie of four friends who wanted to achieve Himalaya after 60 years of life. So that is what a movie which was based upon the strong willpower of these old people who wanted to fulfill the dream of their friend, that he wanted to go to the peak of Himalayas at this age. They had so many hurdles, they had so many health crises in between, but it was that constant determination and that persistent effort. Yes, I want to achieve that, I want to go to that height, to the peak of Himalaya, and they achieve it. So they were, that was not because just because of 1 day they decide and they achieve it. It was a process which was going all through their life, and gradually they were doing. They need to train themselves. They need to go push themselves a lot, and then they can achieve it. Then the ability to control one's own actions, emotions, or urges. Then why this is coming in willpower and how this is to be correlated in the cases. I will again tell you कि अभी क्या फर्क पड़ता है अगर आपको अपने इमोशंस को, अपने अर्जेस को, अपने डिजायर्स को कंट्रोल करना है, और वो कैसे आपके विल पावर को डिटरमाइन करता है. तो मुझे सिंपल से एग्जांपल देती हूँ मैं आपको कि अभी राइट नाउ आई एम टॉकिंग टू यू पीपल, राइट? I am delivering a lecture. So I have to control so many things others, and I have to concentrate myself over here, bringing my attention from everything else. So this is what I'm trying to control all my senses, and only then I will be able to complete this task of delivering the lecture. If I'm diverting myself over here, there, getting frequently affected, वो light से पंखे से or some other movement, then I will not be able to complete my task. So the will requires the capability of the personality to control the urges. Like मुझे बहुत इंटेंस क्रेविंग हो रही है कि मुझे चॉकलेट चाहिए, ठीक है, बट आई नो दैट चॉकलेट इज not good for me right now because my blood sugars are very high. A person who has got strong willpower will tell you, ma'am, I have a very disciplined diet because I'm a diabetic. I know what portion I need to eat, what portion I have to digest, and how much my stomach will fill. A person who cannot control his urges will be, भूख लगी, जब टाइम मिला खा लिया, जब टाइम मिला सो गए, कोई फिक्र नहीं जिंदगी की, क्या फर्क पड़ते हैं, शुगर ही तो है, बढ़ जाने दो. सो दैट टेल्स यू कि द पर्सन डजंट हैव दैट स्ट्रॉन्ग विल पावर ऑफ डेडिकेशन टुवर्ड्स द हेल्थ, और द हेल्थ कॉन्शियसनेस नहीं है, जिसके कारण वो छोटे छोटे अर्जेस को कंट्रोल नहीं कर पा रहा है, या उसके एक्शंस इस तरीके से नहीं है कि, मतलब यू विल सी विल पावर इन एवरीथिंग. यू वांट टू कंप्लीट योर टास्क, यू नीड अ स्ट्रॉन्ग विल पावर. वो बोलते हैं ना, सपने वो नहीं जो आपको सोने दे, सपने तो वो है जो आपको जागते हुए भी खोने ना दे. दैट इज व्हाट द विल पावर इज. मतलब आपका डिटर्मिनेशन इतना स्ट्रांग होना चाहिए कि मुझे वो चीज अचीव करनी ही करनी है, उस अचीवमेंट के लिए मुझे कोई भी चीज का बलिदान देना पड़े मैं दूंगा. या मुझे अपने डिजायर्स को, अपने एक्शंस को, भी कितनी बार होता है ना कि वी सी दैट इंजीनियर्स हैव दैट वीकेंड्स, दे गो टू parties, they enjoy so much, they do everything. But on the contrary, a student who is just achieving a student life has to control all his urges. वो पार्टी शार्टी अगर करते बैठेगा पूरा टाइम, तो नॉलेज कहाँ से मिलेगा, राइट? सो दिस इज जिसका, लेकिन ऐसे भी स्टूडेंट्स होंगे जो अपने ये डिजायर्स को कंट्रोल नहीं कर पाते. हम केस टेकिंग में पूछते हैं, अच्छा इसका होमवर्क कंप्लीट, मैम आपको मैं क्या बताऊं, इसका अगर होमवर्क कंप्लीट नहीं होगा तो ये घर आएगा सबसे पहले, रात के अगर 2 भी बजेंगे ना तो भी अपना वर्क कंप्लीट करेगा, उसके बाद सोएगा. हमको इसको बोलना पड़ता है कि बेटा खाना खा ले, बेटा पानी पी ले, और अपने काम को कंप्लीट करने के लिए, दैट डिटर्मिनेशन इज द पावर ऑफ विल पावर. सो दैट इज ऑल्सो अ फैकल्टी ऑफ विल which can be understood through the cases. Then even if it is very difficult, still you can achieve that difficult thing through your strong willpower. So what Vivekanand said is that the power is within you and you can do anything which is impossible, and there is nothing which is impossible in the life, and you can achieve everything in life through that strong determination, through that strong willpower, and that willpower is the driving force which will drive you towards achieving that task. Abhi, take the examples of the stalwarts of homeopathy. Take our father of homeopathy, Dr. Samuel Hahnemann, sir. What he did in those days, if you read introduction of organon of medicine, you will see he was the person with lot of metallic qualities. He was the person with strong willpower. There was so many hurdles in his life. He was being pushed away from 18 countries. He strived so hard. There were days when he had just bread that was also a dried bad, loaves of breads for days together, because he could not earn bread and butter. But he did not leave homeopathy just because there were so weak hurdles in the, his urges were well controlled. He did not give up, and his sole mission was to bring up homeopathy, a gentle science which can bring miraculous cure. And end of his life, the last words were, I have not lived in vain. So people who have achieved in the life, they might have struggled a lot, but they have the capability of converting all these hard struggles to the success. So what we see today as a success story has got a स्टोरी विद इन इट. दैट इज व्हाट वी से, राइट? सो विल पावर अगर आपको किसी का समझना है तो आपको समझना पड़ेगा कि आज तक के लाइफ को लीड करने के लिए उन्होंने क्या क्या चीजों को अप्लाई किया, और किस तरीके से वो आज तक के जहां है वो कैसे बने. यू विल सी अ पर्सन ऑफ 22 years who is a very successful businessman, whereas a person of 42 years who is failure in his life. That doesn't mean कि business will define the willpower, but जो फेलियर भी है 42 में, फिर भी उसका विल पावर स्ट्रांग है, वो अगर बोलता है कि मैम मेरे इतने फेलियर्स आए पर मैंने कभी सुसाइड का नहीं थॉट लिया, मैंने नौकरी की लेकिन मैंने कभी गिव अप नहीं किया, मैंने भूखा रहा पर मैंने कभी किसी से भीख नहीं मांगी, और मैं आज भी 42 का हूं, भले ही मेरा बिजनेस सक्सेसफुल नहीं है पर आज भी मेरे पास कैपेबिलिटी है कि अगर मैं चाहूं तो मैं अपने घर के भरोसे पे 50 लोगों को और खाना खिला सकता हूँ। मैं सोसाइटी में अगर जाऊं, दैट डजंट मीन कि 42 इज अ फेलियर। द विल पावर व्हाट ही हैज इज द स्ट्रॉन्ग विल पावर। सो just success will never define the way they are leading, their success, their failure will define the willpower. एम आई वेरी क्लियर? बिकॉज दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, क्योंकि बहुत बार मैंने देखा है कि विल को इंटरप्रेट करते समय बहुत मिस्टेक्स होती है, और जब भी विल को अंडरस्टैंड करने में मिस्टेक्स आप करते हो तो आप रॉन्ग रेमेडी में जाते हो, क्योंकि विल हमारे लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है जब हम सिफिलिटिक केसेस देखते हैं, विल हमको बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है जब हम साइकोटिक केसेस भी देखते हैं। तो हम और देखेंगे जहाँ पे डिजीजेस लाइक कौन सी डिजीजेस जहाँ पे विल का बहुत इंपॉर्टेंस है। सो देयरफॉर वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड कि विल को हम कहाँ लाइफ में और केस में देख पाएंगे। सो दैट इज एन इनर स्ट्रेंथ टू कैरी आउट प्लान्स। मतलब these will be the people, if you see the planning and programmings of strong willed people and weak willed people, the strong willed people will be like, I have always a plan B ready for my life. मतलब if plan A fails, then this is the plan B to be executed. I will never be like कि अरे सोचेंगे देखेंगे जब जो होगा. No, I will make decisions promptly. This is what I have to do in my life. I will be determined to my decision, and whatever success or failure हो, लेकिन I will not give blame to others for all the wrong decisions I have taken. I will take the responsibility for the decisions I have taken, and whatever actions I have taken, I will try that whatever hurdles come in my life, I will cross them. Then only you can achieve. If you have to cross a mountain, you have to cross the hurdles of heat. पानी भी आ जाए, बारिश भी आ जाए, पत्थर भी आ जाए, स्लिप भी हो जाए, गिर भी जाए, हो सकता है कि एक स्टेप ऊपर छोड़ो, लुढ़क जाओ, खसक जाओ, 4 स्टेप पीछे आ जाओ, बट फिर भी आपको एक रेजिस्टेंस के अगेंस्ट में चलना है. दैट इज द फैकल्टी ऑफ इनर स्ट्रेंथ, एंड दैट कम्स थ्रू विल पावर. इफ अ पर्सन टेल्स यू कि मैम यूपीएससी के एग्जाम में इसने 6 बार अटेंड किया और 7वीं बार तो हम सबने बोल दिया था छोड़ दे, बिल्कुल अच्छा नहीं है, बट यही रिस्पॉन्सिबल लेता था कि नहीं ये मेरा डिसीजन है, सिर्फ एक बार मुझे और चांस दो. एंड टुडे ही हैज सक्सेसफुली अचीव्ड दैट यूपीएससी एग्जाम्स, क्रैक्ड दैट यूपीएससी एग्जाम. दैट वाज ओनली पॉसिबल विद दैट स्ट्रॉन्ग विल पावर. एंड बिकॉज दिस इज द डिफिकल्ट टास्क, लेकिन वो डिफिकल्ट इसलिए छोड़ा नहीं, उसमें डर था इसलिए छोड़ा नहीं. That persistency against the resistance and against that laziness is there. And this is what I see, to be very honestly telling you, I'm really very disappointed when I see doctors of homeopathy. I'm really very disappointed when I see the way homeopathic teachers or the students are taking knowledge. They really give up so easily, saying that homeopathy doesn't give them success, but the hard work they need, they just like give up. No, predictive homeopathy is very hard. We want some shortcut methods, and we just want to achieve something very easily. उससे हमको कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता कि पेशेंट का हेरिंग्स लॉ ऑफ क्योर सही जा रहा है कि हेरिंग्स लॉ ऑफ क्योर रॉन्ग जा रहा है. सो दिस इज अ रॉन्ग एटीट्यूड. बट इफ यू सी एमबीबीएस, you see the training they go undergo to become an MBBS doctor, and if you compare yourself with them, then go and see in the MBBS colleges the amount of training they do. They have to work even with high temperatures. They work even when they are not have their food. They don't have any reasons for skipping up. Maximum time they have to give their 100%. There is no if and no but. They are seeing the patient from the second year of knowledge, college days, and they don't. I've never seen a MBBS who will just sit, "Arey, ho jayega na." Very few doctors will come up, but they are so determined, and therefore they are the leading practitioners of today's world. So if you want that homeopathy should become a leading practitioner, then you have to work hard, and that resilience, that resistance, breaking capability has to be there, and which is lacking in the students, and really it is disappointing. That's okay. But we are the followers of the stalwarts like Bade sir. He had worked tirelessly. Matlab, we have seen him working He would prepare his PPT with lot of enthusiasm, and he would know each and everything because he would take all the efforts to the pains that he explain each and every point, and he gives everything to homeopathy. He had his OPD running midnight till 2 a.m. also. So it was very difficult to stop him working. So this is the resilience these people have, those who have got strong willpower. So that helps in achieving goals, that helps them the power of self-control, that strengthens the power of self-control. Then they control impulses. मतलब impulses मतलब क्या? अगर impulsivity है किसी के अंदर तो वो विल पावर उसका वीक है, राइट? अगर आपको रूब्रिक मिलता है कि ही इज वेरी इम्पल्सिव, he gets very impulsive very easily, and in anger he will just throw the thing, he will bang the door, उठाया फेंक दिया, उठाया चिल्ला दिया. That impulsivity is because of weak willpower, because again willpower helps you, a strong willpower or positive willpower helps you to control your senses and urges. Then all these things like a balanced approach towards the life will be a faculty of strong willpower or a positive will. Then a person who is very impulsive, just throwing everything, taking decisions very hastily, hastiness, all this will be a behavior indicating that this is a negative willpower. You have to be very controlled when you are talking about wills. Then develop courage and bravery. Obviously, when you are uh, uh, molding yourself and you want to achieve something, if someone has really climbed a mountain, those people who are climbers of mountains, just ask them, when you go for so much of hacking and you reach that top and you just see the world, and you see, I'm getting the goosebump when that vision comes in front of my eyes, ki when you reach that highest peak and you see just mountains on the top, and that vision gives you that courage, that sense of achievement that cannot be described, uh, that cannot be described in day-to-day life with small things. But yes, that mountaineer, when it reaches the peak, it gives that sense of satisfaction. So when you are with that strong willpower, you go and you develop courage, you develop bravery, and that happens. So inclination, definitely, if you have to achieve something, you need to have lot of ideas, lot of ambitions, lot of creativity in your life, and then only it is possible that you can achieve something. And you have to stand beyond the crowd. You have to stand someone who is unique. You have to find out the PQRS. So you have to find out that what ideas and creativity is beyond the common people. Only then the person will have that satisfaction. Then they have the capacity, a positive will helps you to find problem to every solution. Like I said, ki they have good plannings, they have good decisions, they act as in against resistance, so they know that every problem is having a solution within it. Every hurdle which is coming as a problem in life will have a solution to it. There is nothing impossible, and impossible itself has the word I am possible. So this is the motive which they will do it. I have a case of ankylosing spondylosis, and that the uncle must be 52, 55 years, mediocre person. But to the amazement, it is expected that at this age, the whole spine of a ankylosing spondylosis patient should have got sclerosis, and it should develop that bamboo spine. But when I saw the patient, I saw the movements, I was really amazed to see it. And I asked him, I kept the paper aside and I asked him, are you really a person with HLA-B 27 positive? Because at this age, when you come towards 60, your whole spine and you get that hunched look and your back hits sclerosis and your movements are very restricted. But that person did not have. The person told me, ki, ma'am, I carry, I travel frequently, almost 360 flights in a year, like almost every day. Morning, I'm in Bangalore, evening I'm in Delhi. So this is my routine. So I was amazed ki how this person must be achieving everything so determined, and how much. So he's so disciplined. He will just message me. He will just come I will send a driver at 3 o'clock. That is what he will message me. I have to ask him. He will message me few words. I want a medicine for this. This is my complaint, and this is. So even if I'm calling him, he will say, no, I don't have to talk much. So don't waste your time. Don't waste my time. This is what I have to tell. Even on the airport, this person will do exercises because he knows that exercise is so essential for the mobility of his joints. So this is a person who will behave with so strong willpower. And yes, he is somewhere a person who has achieved so much. He was being kicked out of his home. He got separated. So many crises came into his life, but he has never given up. So this is the faculty which you will see as a strong willpower. The people, I saw a person, lady coming to me with breast cancer. She was diagnosed recently with an invasive ductal cell carcinoma of the left breast. I was amazed to see because I was the person who diagnosed the case, and I told her, "Ki sorry to say, auntie, but you are being diagnosed cancer." My voice was shaking when I was telling her, and she was like, "Okay, now what next?" मैंने कहा, "Okay, what next? This is cancer." She said, "Listen, doctor, right now my child is going to get delivered, and the delivery is near approaching in this 2 months. So I cannot afford telling this news to my family. Right now you have to keep it as a secret with me. I will go to the doctors alone. I will take my husband, but I cannot inform this to my children because my daughter is right now at the peak delivery time, and her 8th month is going, 7th or 8th month is going, and she might deliver, and I cannot take the risk, and I have to work for her because it is a peak time. Then my son has just moved down out of town for his new job, and if they both come to know about my disease, they will be disturbed. So I have to stand strong, and I will see to it I take proper diet. You give me a proper diet chart, I will take a proper diet, I will live properly, and I will do pranayam, yoga, everything, whatever you say. You give me medicine, I will be very sincere to your doorstep." And really speaking, hats off to that lady, the way she has responded to the remedy, because it was her willpower that responded so well, and her lump has really reduced a lot. So this is the faculty of willpower which is to be understood. So every problem has a solution. So there was a problem that she is facing a disease, but because she was a strong willpower lady, she did not give up, and she chose that, yes, I have to face the problem. There is nothing like I don't want to face the problem. And on the contrary, we have people who come up, बहुत मैम को अभी के अभी बताओ कि मुझे बात करनी है, मुझे अभी के अभी बताओ मुझे बात करनी है, क्या बात करनी है? तो मेरे को सर्दी हो गई है। अरे दैट इज नॉट एन इमरजेंसी। 8 times a calls a day. What? I have not passed through. Morning, evening, afternoon, night, 9 calls, same complaints. कुछ हो तो नहीं जाएगा? कुछ नहीं होगा। कुछ हो तो नहीं जाएगा? कुछ नहीं होगा। Again and again, they need consolations. They need. So these are the people who are weak-willed. Then they will be strong people, because willpower needs a lot of ideas and creativity. So they are people who are creative, who are very focused in their life. So, as all said is कि why it is said that IQ से ज्यादा तुम्हारा EQ, और EQ से भी ज्यादा important तुम्हारा will. ठीक है? So when you
ना
are
बोलना उसका
defining
और किधर है बोले पहले
personality,
भी बोलना
try
मुझे
to
भी देना
understand the will,
अपन
because that
रजिस्ट्रेशन
will
ले गए तो
help you
प्रोटीन
to
टेस्ट रहेगा
guide
तो
the
अच्छा
IQ
लगता
also. A person having a very good IQ,
यूरिक
very good
एसिड
IQ,
का रखना है
but the willpower
उसको
is
साले
lacking,
को बोलना पड़ेगा
will never achieve anything in life. Like I have seen so many people who are like, oh my god, they are so brilliant in their mathematics, they are so brilliant. But I had a friend of mine who was very intelligent, I would say. And her college days, she would fight for day 1 marks towards with the teachers, that why did you give 1 mark less, 1 mark less. And then I saw her that she was having a wonderful memory,
इसको
and she
शनिवार
would
को भी नहीं
just
आना है
keep things in mind, and then she would just copy it
चले
on the paper. So this was the brilliant memory she had. So her IQ was very good, but she didn't never practiced in her life. She never felt the need, the willpower. बोले मैं practice नहीं कर सकती, मेरे को practice नहीं करना था. This is not what I desired in my life. Uh, because that was not which was her motive or her drive in her life. Because she was like कि मैंने first yeah, she was a gold medalist in the college, but she never practiced. She never served the humanity. She said कि मेरे को दूसरों से क्या करना है, मैंने दूसरों के लिए तो ना पढ़ाई की, मैंने तो पढ़ाई खुद के लिए की, मुझे अच्छा मार्क्स चाहिए था. So is this the willpower? Because she did not have the drive of achieving something for the society, she never practiced. मैंने कहा बस मुझे वो डिग्री चाहिए था, विद दैट सर्टिफिकेट हो गया, वो दीवार पे टंग गई, उसके ऊपर मुझे कुछ नहीं चाहिए था, उसके सहारे मुझे एक पति चाहिए था जिससे मैं शादी कर सकूं. दिस इज द बिटर ट्रूथ ऑफ होम्योपैथी टुडे, दैट जस्ट पीपल वांट a DR in front of the name and just that's it, nothing else. So this is become smarter, because day by day you can become, it is not important that you are smart or you have good IQ, but it is more important that you are self-disciplined. So if you see people who are very disciplined in their life, if you see people who are very focused in their life and they want to achieve everything, that is a faculty of positive will. So will itself says when there is a will, there is a way. So they will find that every experience of their life is teaching something, and they will again come up with some new ideas and with something new which can change the whole situation. So that is what they believe, that they are the creator of their own reality. So they वर्क विथ कि जो भी फ्यूचर है वो मैं मास्क करूंगा, एंड दे डोंट ब्लेम अदर्स कि मम्मी के कारण, पापा के कारण, इसके कारण, उसके कारण मैं पढ़. They will focus on their own self and they will improvise themselves every day, each day improving. What they were today, yesterday, they will improve today. So that is, they help to get started and they get results because of building their new habits and achieving new things. They help, it will help them to overcome their doubt, failures, and fears. That will, how this can be seen in cases is कि like I told you the case of 22-year-old female. The female was being continuously criticized in front of me by the mother, and mother would say ये सोकर नहीं उठती, ये खाती नहीं, ये पानी नहीं पीती, ये सोती नहीं, मोबाइल देखती है, गाना नहीं गाती, ये मार्क्स नहीं लाती, इसको कोई काम बोला तो घंटे लगाती. तो मैंने मम्मा से, सिर्फ उसके मदर से यही बोला कि अगर आप उसको इतना सेल्फ डाउट में डालोगे तो वो हमेशा फियर ऑफ फेलियर के कारण कभी आगे नहीं बढ़ पाएगी. वो उसकी गाड़ी में बैठते थे, गर्ल बोलती है कि मैम मैं गाड़ी ड्राइव कर सकती हूँ, अच्छे से ड्राइव कर सकती हूँ, बट मम्मी नहीं बैठना चाहिए मेरे पीछे. मैंने कहा क्यों? एक ऐसा पर्सन, उसको क्या फर्क पड़ना चाहिए कि मदर बैठे या फादर बैठे या फ्रेंड बैठे, गाड़ी तो गाड़ी है, ड्राइव तो आपको ही करना ना, कंट्रोल तो आप. नो मैम, मदर पीछे बैठी ना तो बोलेगी लेफ्ट ले, राइट ले, ब्रेक दबाना होगा तो जोर से दबा देगी. तो मुझे मेरा डाउट, ऐसे डाउट आने लगता है, यार मैं अच्छे से चला रही हूँ कि नहीं चला रही हूँ, और बस वो डर आता है मेरे अंदर, और मैं पूरा हाथ पैर पसीने हो जाते हैं, एंड आई स्किड, और मेरा एक्सीडेंट हो जाएगा, मुझे यही डर लगता रहता है, और मैं ये ओवरकम कर ही नहीं पाती हूँ. तो आई टोल्ड द मदर कि यू आर द जनरेटर ऑफ दिस क्रीचर, और आप अगर उसको बैकअप नहीं दोगे तो ये फियर ऑफ फेलियर उसको कैसे ओवरकम कर पाएगी. और इसीलिए ये फियर ऑफ फेलियर, ये डाउट अपॉन सेल्फ, इसके कारण इसका व्हील इतना वीक होते जा रहा है कि वो कुछ अचीव ही नहीं कर सकती लाइफ में. एंड देन शी हैड गॉन इनटू द शेल. द रेमेडीज which go like this are calcareas, carbons, then people who doubt themselves, who have fear of being criticized, who have being fear of being reproached by the people. They have image conscious that what people will tell about them. They have fear of being gossiped. They have fear of being censorious to criticism, right? So that is what they cannot overcome, their doubts and failures and fears, and therefore they have that weak will, and they just want, अरे यार कौन सुनेगा मम्मी की, और मैं गिर गई तो, एक्सीडेंट हो गया तो, फिर वो सारे थॉट प्रोसेस चलते रहेंगे चलते रहेंगे चलते रहेंगे. बेटर है गाड़ी मत चलाओ. सो दे विल नेवर ड्राइव इन द लाइफ. बेटर है कभी फेस ही मत करो. मम्मी अभी मैं काम करूंगी ना तो मम्मी क्या बोलेगी, तूने ये नहीं किया, वो नहीं किया. एक काम करो, मम्मा आता ही नहीं, काम ही नहीं आता, करने का ही नहीं, क्या करते फिर? तो बोले बस 10-12 बजे तक के सो के उठना, तब तक के मम्मी के काम हो जाते, अपन को नींद नहीं भी आ रही है तो भी बेड पे पड़े रहना. This is what a weak-willed personality will take this challenge of life, and they will go into the shell. The remedy which has matlab worked beautifully in that girl was calcarea mule, and after calcarea mule she recently gave a stage performance of her singing, and she could bang so well, and now she has started getting up at 8:39. The person who would not wake up before 12, I started waking up at 8:39, goes for an exercise session, goes for a riyaz for singing. And this is what our constitutional understanding of the will, and coming to a right constitutional, because I could understand this is the willpower which is driving. So the remedy came out. So they are, yes, willpower helps in perseverance and achieving, and anything can be accomplished in life if you have the strong will to achieve it. There was a story which was being told to us when we were very small, of a spider who just mm, two times, three times, once there was a king who was sitting near the wall, and you would see a spider who would just go up, again fall down, go up, again fall down, go up, again fall down. And still the spider doesn't give up. And there is a once a time when it goes up and climbs the wall. So you can achieve everything in your life. Only thing is you need efforts, efforts, efforts. There is no time foundation for achieving anything, and there is no limitation to your achievement. It is said that you are your own limitations, right? So that is because of your willpower. So strength lies not in a physical body, but in the will. What does it mean? Like you will see in Hope for Hopeless camps, I see I have a case of muscular dystrophy, where the child has got a strong determination of achieving. I will do, matlab I will do. And he has got a very beautiful handwriting. नहीं, मुझे तो एग्जाम देना ही देना है. I had a recent case where the child is being severely burned by electric shock. And when I'm talking to the child, he will say कि बुआ मुझे जल्दी ठीक करो और मुझे स्कूल जाना है. है ना, आपको यहीं पे पढ़ने दे रहे बेटा, आप पढ़ लो. नहीं नहीं, मुझे तो स्कूल जाना है, आप जल्दी मुझे ठीक करो, मैं खड़ा होऊंगा और मैं दौड़ूंगा, देखना मैं आपको दौड़ के बताऊंगा. सो दिस इज व्हाट द चाइल्ड इज, दैट इज द डिटर्मिनेशन. दे विल से अरे क्या ही फर्क पड़ता है, मेरी एक मतलब लोअर बॉडी वर्क नहीं कर रही है ना, बट ब्रेन तो बहुत अच्छे से वर्क कर रहा है, तो मैं तो स्कूल जाऊंगा. एंड द चाइल्ड गोज टू द स्कूल, परफॉर्म्स वेल एंड वांट टू अचीव गुड मार्क्स. सो दैट इज फिजिकल कैपेबिलिटी नहीं भी रही. देर आर सो मेनी एग्जाम्पल्स ऑफ पैरामेडिकल ओलंपियाड्स जो चल रहे हैं. उस ओलंपिक्स में देखना आप कि जिन लोगों को इतने सारे वीकनेसेस रहते हैं बट स्टिल दे अचीव सो मेनी थिंग्स. सो दैट इज ऑल्सो अ फैकल्टी ऑफ स्ट्रॉन्ग विल पावर. और रिसेंट एग्जाम्पल वॉज वो जो एरो, बो एंड एरो वाला कॉम्पिटिशन था, उसमें गोल्ड मेडलिस्ट जो गर्ल आई है, शी डजंट हैव अ हैंड. So that is not the physical foundation. So these people with strong will cross over all these things and achieve something in their life. So the synonyms for willpower is continence. So they have constancy, they restrain all the hurdles. They have self-command, that is, they control their urges in their life and they never get overpowered because of their urges. Whatever they achieve is being satisfied to them. They try to limit themselves to their own controls. Then they are very much disciplined. They govern themselves. They master themselves. They are the masters of their life and they never blame others. They are creators of their own reality. They possess everything. They will try to learn everything, so that possess all the qualities which is responsible to achieve the goal, and they have a strong will to achieve it. So all power is within you. You can do anything and everything. Believe in that. Do not believe that you are weak. Do not believe that you are half crazy lunatics, as most of us do nowadays. Stand up and express the divinity within you. So that is what Sir Swami Vivekanand ji has been talking about, that every power is within you, and that power is nothing but your willpower, which helps you to stand against all the hurdles and all the odd situations of the life. And never say no, because I cannot. That is your infinite. All the powers are within you. You can do anything and achieve anything in life. These are the statements which you will see in different ways. The patient talks to you. कि मैम मुझे लगता ही नहीं कि कभी मुझे कुछ डिफिकल्ट था, बचपन में खाने नहीं मिला. हम बहुत बार देखेंगे ऐसे ऐसे लोग हमारे डेस्क पे आते हैं जो बताते हैं कि आई आस्क माय फादर एंड ही सेज कि हम 25 किलोमीटर्स तो आम था, हमको स्कूल ही उतना किलोमीटर चल के जाना पड़ता था. एंड दैट इज वॉज द स्ट्रॉन्ग डिटर्मिनेशन दैट आई हैड कि हमको एजुकेशन कंप्लीट करनी ही करनी थी. हम घर में नहीं रहते थे, हम हॉस्टल में रहते थे, हमको खाना एक टाइम मिलता था, बट स्टिल हमको करना था. So those people who have got a strong willpower will always have a bigger picture in mind. You ask them and they will say, अच्छा ये प्रॉब्लम थी, मुझे तो कभी भी नहीं दिखा कि ये प्रॉब्लम थी. आई हैव ऑलवेज फाउंड अ सोल्यूशन इन दैट प्रॉब्लम and every experience has taught me a lesson in this problem. So they seek small small pressures from the bigger goals they have to achieve. जो भी छोटा छोटा होगा वो उसमें खुश रहेंगे. भूखे पेट रहने से तो अच्छा था ना खाना मिल गया. दे विल नेवर क्रिटिसाइज, अरे इसमें खाना नहीं था. आई एम वेरी हैप्पी कि यार मिल जाता है खाना. हमको क्या ही फर्क पड़ता है कि खाने में क्या स्वाद था, बिकॉज खाना मिल गया. वी हैव दैट ग्रेटिट्यूड दैट यस वी हैव गॉट द फूड. So you have that gratitude attitude towards every small thing. That is also a strong willpower. So how does a disease comes up? So when a willpower gets affected, so willpower is again guided by your belief system and how you believe about yourself. If I have a strong willpower, I will have a belief in myself that I am really powerful and I can do everything in my life. And if I have a belief system कि I'm very small, I cannot do anything, यार मेरे से तो कुछ होता ही नहीं, मैं कुछ कर ही नहीं सकता हूँ, तो वो सारी चीजें आपके परसेप्शन को अफेक्ट करेगी और उस हिसाब से आप अपने ड्राइव के हिसाब से स्टेप्स लोगे. और ये सारी जो चीजें हैं, आपका जेनेटिक्स, आपके डिजायर्स, आपके हैबिट्स, आपका सारा चीजें, ये सब चीजें आपके विल पावर से ही गाइड होती है. क्योंकि आपका विल पावर और आपका बिलीफ सिस्टम ये मर्ज होके आपके सारे ड्राइव्स को और सारे वो जो विल मॉरल वाला पार्ट था उसको, फोर्स को पुल करता है. अगर मेरा विल पावर है कि मुझे आज खाना बनाना है 25 लोगों को और मैं कर सकती हूँ, तो मैं सारे रिसोर्सेज ढूंढूंगी और कितने भी कम रिसोर्सेज हो या ज्यादा रिसोर्सेज हो, उन रिसोर्सेज से मैं खाना बना के ही रहूंगी और मैं 25 लोगों को क्या 50 लोगों को भी खिलाने का दम रखती हूँ. और अगर मेरे पास बहुत सारा सब कुछ है बट मेरा विल पावर ही नहीं है कि मैं कुछ कर सकूं, तो मैं क्या करूंगी? कुछ नहीं, किसी को बोलूंगी बना दो खाना, खाना है तो ठीक है, नहीं खाया तो भी ठीक है. So this is what happens when your willpower is getting affected. So what things affect the will and what thing affects the willpower boost कौन करता है और कौन वीक करता है? तो आप ये देखोगे हिस्ट्री में, जहां पे बचपन से लेके अभी तक के, बचपन से आपको बहुत सारा क्रिटिसिज्म मिला हो, लेकिन आपने उस क्रिटिसिज्म को हमेशा रॉन्ग वे में लिया है. मैं तो हुई बुरी, इसीलिए मम्मा पापा मुझसे प्यार नहीं करते थे. तो मेरे को ऐसा लगता था मैं नहीं मर जाने का, मैं नहीं कुछ कर लेने का. दैट विल डेफिनेटली गिव यू अ नेगेटिव एटीट्यूड टुवर्ड्स द लाइफ. हाउ यू आर हैंडलिंग द स्ट्रेस. मैं कोई भी लाइफ में स्ट्रेस आए, मुझे लगता था यार मैं सुंदर नहीं दिखती हूँ ना, इसीलिए मुझे कोई बॉयफ्रेंड नहीं मिला. मैं सुंदर नहीं दिखती हूँ ना, इसलिए मेरी मम्मी मुझसे प्यार नहीं करती. मैं लड़की हूं ना, इसीलिए मेरी मम्मी ना मुझे नहीं, मेरी बहन को, भाई को ज्यादा प्यार करती है. लो, कॉन्फ्लिक्ट विद फेमिनिटी. सो हाउ यू आर हैंडलिंग दिस will depend upon your how you are developing your will. Will जो है एक ऐसा फैकल्टी ऑफ जेनेटिक कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन है जो विद एक्सपीरियंसेस विद पॉजिटिव मोटिवेशन चेंज कर सकते हो आप. आई डोंट से कि इट कैन नॉट बी चेंज, मॉरल्स आप नहीं चेंज कर सकते हो बट विल को थोड़ा बहुत तो कर ही सकते हो. एंड विद पॉजिटिविटी इन योर लाइफ यू कैन डेफिनेटली ब्रिंग अप. सो हाउ योर टाइम सराउंडिंग विद पीपल. अरे जाने देना यार, मैम का तो काम ही है बोलने का, रहने दे, बोलते रहते मैम, अपन ने अपना काम करने का, नहीं करेंगे रजिस्टर कंप्लीट क्या हो जाएगा, कुछ नहीं बोलती मैम, करना तो है ना, चल जाने दे. और वहीं पर अगर आपके साथ कोई ऐसा था, नहीं मैम ने बोला है करना है और ये इसी तरीके से करना है और हम करके रहेंगे, तो दैट विल अफेक्ट योर गोल सेटिंग. तो फर्स्ट वाले केस में नो वर्क डन, सेकेंड वाले केस में ठीक है कंप्लीट नहीं होगा बट कुछ तो होगा. यानी कि आप अपने आप को इवॉल्व तो करोगे, थोड़ा तो इंप्रूव करोगे. सर ने बोला था कि आपको ये चीज अप्लाई करनी है, ये फॉर्मूलाज है. अगर स्लो साइकोसिस है तो आपको ये हिस्ट्री लेना है, अक्यूट डिजीज है तो आपको ये हिस्ट्री फाइंड आउट करना है. तो अगर जो विल वीक पावर वाला पर्सन होगा वो अपने सराउंडिंग में भी ऐसे लोगों को लेगा जो उसके सपोर्ट गोल को कभी सपोर्ट नहीं करेंगे, या वो कभी भी अपने गोल को सेट करने के लिए एक स्ट्रॉन्ग डिटर्मिनेशन शो ही नहीं कर सकते. और वहीं पर बूस्ट कौन करेगा? जब आप बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग डिटर्मिन्ड हो, आप अकाउंटेबिलिटी हो, अकाउंटेबिलिटी अगेन कि आई एम रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर माई सेल्फ एंड वॉट एवर आई विल डू आई कैन डू इट ऑन माई सेल्फ. आई डोंट वॉन्ट समवन टू बी डिपेंडेंट अपॉन. तो दे आर, I want to do it. I will plan myself. I will schedule my plan that way. I will eat well. I will sleep well because I need a balanced diet. I have to do a lot of exercises because exercises again motivates your body and it strengthens your willpower. And how? It's another a topic of yoga and willpower, because once you conceal yourself and concentrate on your breathing, that helps up to boost your sense of well-being and that helps you to motivate. एग्जाम्पल देती हूँ मैं कि आप सब कुछ सोच लो, आप सब सोच लो कि आप बहुत डिटर्मिन्ड हो, आप बहुत एम्बिशियस हो, आप सब कुछ है, लेकिन जब काम करने की बात आती है ना, तो आप 5 घंटे में आपकी एनर्जी ड्रेन्ड आउट हो जाती है, आप 3 घंटे परफॉर्म करते हो और उसके बाद हाय मैं तो थक गया। और जबकि रिक्वायरमेंट क्या है, आपको 12 घंटे की काम करनी है, तो क्या आप अपने गोल्स को अचीव कर सकते हो? नहीं। बट वंस यू स्टार्ट एक्सरसाइजिंग, द मसल्स are the main tissues of the body which helps you to boost up your willpower. So the muscles and joints, they help up to boost your energy and they help up to boost your willpower. So they act as a reward system. They help you to generate lot of happy hormones inside the body like oxytocin, dopamine, serotonin, that gets boosted up and that helps the growth cycle to go ahead. So lot of exercises and nutrition definitely boost the willpower, and you will see those people who are very good achievers in their life, they have very disciplined life. You see Sudha Murthy ji, and you see her life. I'm really a fan of her. You will see the way she has controlled her urges. She's a millionaire, billionaire, trillionaire. You know what power she has. But past 20 years, she has not purchased a single sari for herself. And the story goes behind is that she just went and she has read something that you have to control your urges, and the first thing she could control her urges was her urge to go for shopping. And she took a oath near Ganga that I will never purchase a sari for me. And this is way back 20 years back. And now to she has stopped accepting the gifts also, because she says, I don't need so much. So this is what contentment they have, and that helps to boost their willpower. So this is what willpower and a positive aspect will be. So they have awareness of this self and they are continuously living in mindfulness, that is checking their thoughts. So that is mindfulness. They are aware of the environment, not only outside, but also inside. So that is the faculty of positive willpower. So willpower and self-discipline definitely helps you to ensure your abilities and attitudes. It makes you go humble, adapt positiveness. It helps you to overcome laziness, weakness, procrastination. It helps you to resort, get well on the time. And if you're taking care of your health, your working hours and efficiency, that increases. If you're meditating, your concentration increases and your negative thoughts and your adverse elements, they go down. You focus on positive thinking and lot of ideas and new viewpoints will come up, and that will help you to motivate. So willpower as an emotion is definitely helping in decision making and disposing the mental energy and help you in overpowering the challenging tasks. Then again, coming back to how to achieve this. So even Hahnemann sir has demanded that if you have to achieve this true homeopathic practice, you have to pursue with a perseverance. So this is what the faculty of positive will that Hahnemann sir want, that you have to work with perfect conviction of the great truth. You cannot say ki I don't trust homeopathy. You have to have that conviction. Yes, I am blessed that I will work for this humanity, and homeopathic employment of these medicines will definitely bring cure to homeopathic maladies as possible. So this is what the quality even Hahnemann sir wants. This is to be there. You have to pursue this path with full perseverance and full perfect conviction towards homeopathy. Even Kane sir says that before the disease comes up in the plane at the physical level, before anything gets hampered, the first thing which the spiritual sickness start of the human race is at the level of the thinking, will and acting. This is the faculty where the internal state, that is the will and understanding, are first affected. अगर आपको महाभारत याद होगा, महाभारत का युद्ध तो बहुत बाद में हुआ, महाभारत की शुरुआत तो बहुत बाद में हुई। उसके पहले जो अफेक्ट किया उन्होंने वो था कि जब शकुनी मामा एंटर हुए तो ही स्टार्टेड spoiling the roots. he started spoiling the roots and started creating a discrimination between these are Kauravas and these are Pandavas. That was not there before. He was not like that before, but he started to affect the will that yes, आपको अपने बच्चों से मोह है, आपके कंसाइंस को उसने हिट किया, and therefore the resultant was that whole Mahabharat story, and even the Krishna having conversation with Arjuna. There, first he boosted up was because Arjun was totally devastated that I am not ready to fight and I will not fight amongst my people. So the whole story starts from the point of view where Krishna tries to build a strong willpower, a strong desire in Arjun that you have to fight this battle because this battle will establish something new for the society, and that is the urge. So everything starts at the root cause, that is the will and the understanding. So therefore, will and understanding becomes so important as a faculty of GCS. So as we all know, willpower helps you to understand through the way the person finds its commitment, the way he's confident, determination, willpower, and his reactions to the adversities, how he overcomes his obstacles, his difficulties, what actions he has taken up in overcoming these obstacles, and what initiative he has taken in his life to overcome his adverse situations. So now, as we all know that willpower affects which tissues of your body. So as we have always been talking about कि अब आप कैसे समझोगे, आई एम गोइंग रेट्रोस्पेक्टिवली, अभी तक के हमने क्या किया, बॉडी के लेवल पे एक टिश्यू देखा, उस टिश्यू के थ्रू इमोशंस को अटैच किया, अब हम विल समझा, अब हमने ये समझा कि विल ने बॉडी में क्या क्या चीजें करी, तो विल ने बॉडी में वैल्यू सिस्टम ऐड किया, विल के कारण हमारा अचीवमेंट आया, विल के कारण हमारी एक आइडेंटिटी बनी, विल के कारण हमारी एक वैल्यू सिस्टम बना, और विल ही था जिसने हमको हमारे गोल तक के अचीव करने के लिए मोटिव और ड्राइव दिया। तो ये जो सारा चीजें था, अब मुझे ये बताइए कि कौन से टिश्यूज और ऑर्गन्स होंगे जो विल से अफेक्ट होंगे। So I have asked you this question when we started the session, ki give a thought process. When I'm giving an explanation, I'm giving the answers everywhere through and through ki what kind of diseases will be occurring because of the will getting affected. Because what tissues are developing and what tissues add value to the system, what tissues help you achieve the goal, what tissues help you give stability in your life, and what tissue give you that confidence. Yes, the tissues are definitely the nerve tissue, the muscles, the joints, and all the connective tissue of the body that helps you to give value added system. So whenever you find diseases of like fracture, you see fracture, you will see that there is a contradiction to the will. There is a strong resistance. I did not want it to do anything. So I don't want to do this. How can you insult me? How could you devalue me? So those insults, those devaluations are affecting the tissues of the body, are the bones, joints, and muscles. And your muscles, they get strained when you're performing. You want to perform, you want to achieve that first place in the match, and whenever that is the peak stroke when you want to perform and you are under pressure, and the cricketer gets a cramp, a hamstring spasm, a sprain, the muscle get twisted. Array, I was just running and someone just said you it is not possible for you, and I felt ki, yes, it is not possible for me, and you got an ankle sprain. So that is the will contradiction what we have. I wanted to do, but something was stopping me from doing it. So what was that stopping me from doing it? Was that contradiction which was going inside me. So definitely when you have that contradictory phase in your life, you will get a ligament sprain, you get a spasm, you feel that, yeah, in my life, I had a very good doctor who was working as an assistant surgeon since many years. And he came to me with a sprain in his right hand. Now he was a middle-aged person. So I asked him, ki, why a person like you should have, because you are working in such a good field, you have saved so many lives, and doctors, as a doctor, as a surgeon, as an assistant surgeon to heart, you must have achieved so much in your life, right? And he would say, कि doctor, actually the problem is not that I'm an assistant doctor, but the problem is that I have always worked so hard. I've always strived so hard. But now I feel ki whatever value which I could have added, I'm still into a hospital attached and they don't give me that recognition. And even if I'm performing so well, I don't get that value because that is not my name. After all, I'm an assistant. I had a doctor coming to me who is working as an intensivist, and he's almost to the age of 55, 58, a very good name in his life. And he's working from a very renowned university, renowned hospital also. And he was suffering with fibromyalgia. He had not slept since so many days because of those fibromyalgia. And he said, I'm an intensivist. मेरे को आए दिन intubations करने, ये करने, वो करने, तो कभी कभी मुझे लगता है because of these pains, I'm not able to do it. So I asked him कि why you are suffering, tell me the reason. Because you are in such a good position. So he said, was कि my father was a very renowned is a very renowned doctor belonging to MP, and I am practicing in Nagpur right now. So whenever people compare me, they compare me with my father. And since I'm an intensivist, I'm attached to a hospital. MP people don't understand कि I am working in a good institute. They always compare me. पापा का इतना नाम है, पापा जहां जाते हैं वहां पे इतने लोग इकट्ठे हो जाते हैं, सारे लोग उनका प्रेज करते हैं, और आपका क्या बनाया, आप अभी भी एक इंस्टीट्यूट से ही अटैच्ड हो, आपने क्या किया? नो वन इज सीइंग माय हार्ड वर्क, no one is appreciating my hard work. And now whenever I go on my bed, I start having those pains and aches, and it is impossible for me to sleep soundly on this bed. So that makes me restless. And but I cannot go against my father because I carry a lot of gratitude towards him, and I know what pains he has taken for me to come up as a doctor. And even I have never worked as I've never left my loyalty. But when it comes to the part of name, I see you. And he said, I see you. कि देखो आप आज आप जहाँ बैठे हो, आपको खुद का अपना नाम है. People know you as Dr. Ruchi Jain. मुझे क्या है, मुझे तो वो हॉस्पिटल में एक इंटेंसिविस्ट के नाम से ही जाना जाता है. Who knows me by my name? So I wanted not to be an intensivist. I wanted very hard. That was my desire because I was an MD physician. I wanted that I should have practiced, but did not work for me. So that is what the value system he was affected, and he was affected with fibromyalgia because the devaluation what he had was within him, and he felt that he is very he's a failure. So there was a rubric which I took for him was delusion, failure. He is though successful. So there is a rubric which I took for him. So you will see a lot of failures, lot of delusions like not being valued, not being appreciated, being neglected, insulted. That will all come up when you talk about these tissues, and they are nothing but the will they have within. If they would have been very positive willed, yes, they had worked so hard in the life, but the value system for themselves, the belief system for themselves was somewhere hampered, and they started comparing with others, and their life restricted to their own self, and therefore that devaluation conflict came up. So will, as a positive will, if you want to see rubric wise, so positive will rubrics will be courageous, lot of courage will be there in them. They will never find any excuses कि I'm not able to do, but they will find a solution, and they will take lot of risk in their life, and they have that courage to achieve their goal. They are audacious. Audacious is showing courage, extraordinary courage to achieve their goals. They have lot of positivity into them. So you have can anyone come up with the rubrics? Come on fast, because we have described will. Now the rubric should come into your mind, like just they should pop up and see into the repertory ki these are the will rubrics. So perseverance, yes. Audacity, yes. Courageousness, yes. Will, strong, yes. Confidence, yes. Defiant, yes. Revolting, yes. Then positivity, yes. Obstinacy, yes. Pertinacity, yes, because pertinacity is something which is required. Ideas abundant, plans making, optimistic attitude towards the life, hopefulness for everything, They want to achieve everything with positivity. They are very industrious. They have a dominating nature. They have contradiction, intolerant. They are dictatorial. They are dogmatic. They have fancies of power increase. They are well disciplined. They are responsible. They are achievers. They are ambitious. So that is few of the rubrics for positive. They are responsible. Any more? They are ambitious. Yes. They are dominating. They are dogmatic. Yes. Ambitious. I will add to the list. Anything else? They are definitely sensitive to criticism. That will also be a will rubric because they don't want. They are social position conscious about, because they cannot take things negatively. They want to achieve lot many things. They are ambitious, yes, so sensitive to criticism. Okay, so let us go ahead. Now, going back to our slides. So they are positive, they are audacious, obstinate, perseverance, pertinacity, plans making, optimistic, fanciful, industrious, dictatorial, dogmatic, fancies, responsible, ambitious, sensitive to criticism, social position, conscious about. Then negative will. So negative will is people who doubt themselves, who have lot of conflicts with their own identity, and they don't have that confidence or that willpower. So will, they are timid people, they are bashful, they are people who cannot take decision because they have lack of confidence, they have irresolution, they have lack of confidence, they are fearful, therefore they cannot take decisions, they cannot take any proper they don't find solution to the problem, therefore they become confused, they have anxiety lot of for the future, they become discouraged easily, they are cautious because they don't take risk, they feel embarrassed because they have lot of embarrassment between them, because of that embarrassment, because their self doubt is there and they feel very conscious, they don't have that confidence to face the world because they go into their shell, so they get discouraged easily, they have suicidal thoughts, they have despair, they have an attitude of procrastination. So when you understand the rubrics per se, will weakness of, so we see the case of that lady girl of 22-year-old who had that lack of confidence, then there will be a lot of fears which will be there. So you see remedies like calcarea carb, baraita carb, which has got a weak will. So because of the weak willed attitude, they don't want to achieve anything. They become timid, they become conscious. Yes, baraita carb equal with the will weakness. They have an attitude that they don't have the good intellect equally, and because of which they don't want to take any risk, and because of not taking the risk they become so meticulous and they become routinistic in their personality. They are the remedies which also come up courageous, and yes, they are the people who know don't know what they are being recognized for, like they can be good achievers, varietas can be very good achievers in their life because they are very routinistic, so they do one thing, and at that time they become master of one task only, so they are master of one horse and they lead their whole life with that one mastery, and they cannot learn or adapt to the new things. So you have remedies like baraita which is coming up, you have remedies like anacardium which is coming up, a beautiful remedy of anacardium which helps you to understand that how this will contradiction acts on the patient. And in anacardium, if you try to understand the core of anacardium, it is not always that they have become so spiteful or they have shown their anger and they show become destructive, but actually they were being criticized in the childhood for not being good for something. It's like they are being the personalities, they were being told you're good for nothing, तुझे कुछ नहीं आता, तुझे कुछ करना नहीं आता, तुझे कुछ समझता नहीं है, तू कुछ नहीं कर सकता, देख ये भी किया तो इसमें गलती कर दिया, देख वो किया तो उसमें गलती कर दिया, तू कब सुधरेगा, तू कभी नहीं सुधर सकता। तो जब बार बार ये सारे ब्लेम्स, सारे प्रॉब्लम्स आते हैं, तो पर्सन गोज इनटू द शेल एंड रेट्रोस्पेक्टिवली थिंग्स कि एक्चुअली मेरी पर्सनालिटी क्या है, मैं कौन हूं और मैं क्या हूं। इसीलिए वो विल कॉन्ट्रडिक्शन आता है उनके अंदर में, एंड दे डोंट नो व्हाट टू टेक द डिसीजन एट दिस टाइम, and because of which they go into identity crisis. And then if you see girls, friends, if you want to understand weakness या will को अगर आपको understand करना है, go and read anacardium from all the sources, because anacardium and anacardium is and natramure also, because when I was reading will, I saw that anacardium in different materia medica has tried to give the source, and Kate has beautifully described the evolution of anacardium, how it comes up, and what will contradiction is being depicted in anacardium, and how contradictory will works for anacardium, and why it goes into that confusion and identity crisis. So this is what the way to understand. Then you find remedies like calcareas also over here because of their dull intellect. Then Staphylococcus agria also. Why remedies like natrum carb, silicia you find over here in wheel weakness. Silicia का अगर आप एक रूब्रिक देखोगे तो silicia is one of the most timid remedies, spineless remedy बोलते हैं उसको. Why spineless remedy? Though they are obstinate, but they are yielding but obstinate. This is a rubric for silicia. So that is the rubric which describes about the will. कि करना तो है, लेकिन खुद का डिटर्मिनेशन इतना स्ट्रांग नहीं है कि जो करना है वो पाले। तो जैसी सिचुएशन आएगी उसके हिसाब से वो करेगा, उसको गाइडेंस चाहिए रहेगा, उसको एक सपोर्ट चाहिए रहेगा। इसीलिए सिलिशा को स्पाइनलेस रेमेडी में लिया गया है। तो स्पाइनलेस इज अनदर रूब्रिक फॉर वीक विट। सो एड टू योर डायरी की अचीवमेंट है, यहाँ पे है। Spineless is also another rubric which will come. Then hopeless, negativity, pessimism. These will be the rubrics which will come up. Then yielding, yes, they yield because they don't have that strong determination. They procrastinate. They are very lazy. Laziness, indolence. Then they have an attitude of fault finding in others because they cannot take things. So they will, whatever failures they have, they reproach others for their failures. So this is how they go into, yes, they have an attitude of growing into resignation because they don't want to face the reality. Then there is a rubric which comes up like they cannot take their decisions. So yeah, we'll go ahead with the rubric understanding. So delusion, body parts, head belongs to another. So this is also another rubric which will come from the will part because they cannot take their own decision. They are irresolute people and they find that they work according to the will of others. I have seen beautifully, Bade sir had taken these cases in Hope for Hopeless camps where he had taken Baraita carb, yes, Baraita carb was also added to this rubric, and sir would say ki yes, why they work because they don't want to use their brain. They have been guided, they have been overpowered by the other people so much that they don't apply their own brains and they don't want to work according to their own will, or they don't have their own willpower to work for themselves. Either it can be because of fear, because of loneliness, or because of will contradiction. Again, alumina is coming over here because of contradictory will. then undertakes lacks willpower to undertake anything. So this is also a remedy group where they don't have the willpower to undertake anything. So they don't want to, it is not like they don't want to achieve anything, but they don't have that willpower to start anything specifically or to take anything new. They just feel fearful, or fear of failure can be there. Like phosphorus, they are very timid inside and therefore they don't want to take the risk because of fear of failure. Picric acid is also another remedy, a very beautiful remedy. When you find that people says that I'm very ambitious but I'm not able to overcome my fears and I cannot achieve the things and therefore I feel too tired and too weak. Another picric acid is also a very beautiful remedy which will act in cases like spinal muscular dystrophy. Again, a very good case where there is paralysis because picric acid has an affinity for muscles and nerves. So again, it goes to the other way around, that what tissues can be affected from the willpower. So they have a delusion that everything will fail, and because of that fear of failure and that they feel that they are the failure, they don't want to take any risk. So again, the rubric delusion, fail everything will. And therefore, the remedies like argentum nitricum is coming up, lactan is coming up, aurum is coming up over here. Someone has asked me in this previous in this lecture itself that why aurum has been mentioned. There was a question which was being asked. Huh. In impulsivity, in coped up stage, or how? So you have to understand that every remedy is trimasmatic. So though aurum is a remedy which has got a very strong willpower to achieve themselves. They are the remedy who belong to the higher faculty of Maslow's triangle, and they want to achieve something for not only for themselves but for the society. But when in the later half of the life, they feel that whatever they have performed is insufficient, it is inefficient for themselves, and they feel that they have not achieved the goal, and therefore they go into that fear that everything will fail and they lose their confidence at that time, and because of that they go into that syphilitic phase and they become very impulsive, not able to take the decisions. But when in sora, in psychosis, they are the people who have strong willpower and they are the achievers and the ambitious people. Similarly happens with argentum nitricum. Argentum nitricum is a remedy who has lot of self-doubt. Lot of self-doubt is them in them. They know that they can do, but still their anxiety overpowers them because of that lack of will within them. Ki, yes, I can do it. And therefore, lot of anticipatory anxiety before exams. You see loose motions before exams. You see lot of examination funk, a remedy for examination fevers. Why argentum nitricum is coming? Because they have within the thought is that fear fail everything, because they lack the willpower. Though they are the precious metals, but still they cannot achieve what the aurum or what position aurums have achieved, or what position the palladium or platina is. So argentum, though it is a higher metal, but still it is more moldable, more malleable, but cheaper than aurum, and therefore it again describes so that they are weak-willed remedy. So miasm, yes, needs to be correlated when you are understanding any remedy or any mind. Laccan is another a beautiful remedy. If you understand laccan, whenever I used to get confused between Calcarea carb, Baraita carb, and then somehow Sir had taught laccan way back to us, and Sir said कि laccan is a certain remedy. जो बोलते हैं ना कुत्ते की वैल्यू क्या रहती है ना, ना घर का ना घाट का, no, not being valued, being despised, being insulted, being abused, and being devalued by the society, by the home. And वो बोलते हैं ना कोई भी आता है गली के कुत्ते को लात मार के चला जाता है. So this is the position what a lactan suffers from, and therefore lactan को सर ने बहुत ब्यूटीफुली वीक बिल्ड में लिया है, and they don't have that courage to fight with, क्योंकि after all they don't have that strength or stamina to go against. ज्यादा से ज्यादा क्या ही कर लेंगे ना, वो भौंक ही लेंगे, bite करेंगे, then they become very angry, spiteful and all. But lactan per se, when it is a remedy, it is a very weak-willed remedy because it doesn't have. Now people will be surprised that in this list there is a remedy of Merck Salt and Naxwamika again. So again, take into consideration that why Merck has become corrosive. It is not Merck which has become corrosive, spiteful, angry, rage, and anything, but because it doesn't have that, it has got that sensitivity inside. Ki don't hit me. And if you hit me, I am very sensitive inside, I will break. Because Merck is a, though it is a metal, but it doesn't have its form and shape. एंड देयरफॉर इट हैज गॉट द कैपेसिटी. अभी देखो, अगर आप एक स्नेक को देखोगे ना, तो स्नेक बहुत ही फ्लेक्सिबल, बहुत ही सॉफ्ट है, कोई भी जाके उसको मार सकते हैं और कभी भी उसका सर्वाइवल को हंट कर सकता है. इसीलिए उसने क्या अडेप्टेशन किया कि बी अवेयर ऑफ मी एंड आई हैव टू सर्वाइव, सो आई हैव दोस फैंग्स ऑफ पॉइजन इन मी, सो डोंट हंट मी, बी अवेयर ऑफ मी. Similarly, Merc, though it is a metal, but it doesn't have its form and shape. It is a fluid in atmosphere, and therefore Merck says he, I know I am a metal, but still I'm not as hard as aurum and argentum. So that is the weakness what I have internally as a timid metal, and therefore that timidity is coming because of that weak will, and as a reaction to that timidity is like you hit me and I will hit you back, because I cannot take that sensitivity comes up, and therefore being a timid metal it becomes more corrosive and more aggressive. And therefore मर्क को आप देखोगे, जैसे टैरेंटुला कैसा दिखेगा ना, आपको कहीं भी जाएगा, किसी को भी छेड़ेगा, कुछ भी करेगा, ऐसे करेगा, वैसे करेगा, बट मर्क कब करेगा, अगर आप उसको छेड़ोगे तो छोड़ेगा नहीं. That is Merck. So that is the corrosiveness of Merck, and equally because it is a timid metal, the will weak is there, right? So these are the explanations. Nux vomica is again because Nux vomica is an achiever, is a highly ambitious personality, but a person who is being spoiled by wine and women. So they have inside that fear of failure inside them. They have a lot of anger and frustration because they feel that whatever performance they are doing or whatever preparations they have done, Nux vomica feels that that is inefficient for them. And whatever goals they had to achieve, मतलब वो रात भर पड़ेगा, उसको पता है कि रात भर पढ़ने से, दिस इज नक्सवामिका, नक्सवामिका पूरी रात पढ़ेगा, पूरा दिन पढ़ेगा, लेकिन उसके मन में क्या थॉट रहता है, अरे जो मैंने आंसर छोड़ दिया ना वही आंसर आएगा, और वो थॉट उसको सोने नहीं देगा, और वो थॉट उसको स्लीपलेस रखेगा, और जितना वो स्लीपलेस रहेगा बिकॉज ऑफ स्ट्रेस, बिकॉज ऑफ एंजाइटी, दे हैव हाइपर एसिडिटी, देन दे गो इनटू नॉशिया एंड वॉमिटिंग. बट नक्स वोमिका द पीपल जिनके लिए एग्जैक्टली टर्म आता है कि आपके सपने वो सपने हैं जो आपको सोने नहीं देते, बिकॉज नक्स वोमिका हैज गॉट दैट डिल्यूजन कि सब कुछ फेल हो जाएगा, अगर मैंने ये काम कंप्लीट नहीं किया तो कोई और ये काम कर ही नहीं सकता. इसलिए नक्सवामी का बहुत हार्डवर्किंग पीपल रहेंगे, बहुत, और वो उनका कंसिस्टेंट हार्डवर्क रहेगा जो उनको गोल्स अचीव कर पाएगा. सो दिस विल बी द डिफरेंस बिटवीन नक्सवामी का. Now, delusion sick he is work, and for that reason he will not. So again, this is a weak-willed rubric. People take out lot of reasons that I cannot perform, I cannot work. See again, this is magic of repertory, and Materia Medica. Why I took this rubric, because again, Naxwamika is coming over here. One side we are talking about कि they have failure, का fear of failure, and because of that fear of failure overpowering them, एंड उसके लिए उन्होंने इतना काम किया होता है, दिन रात काम किया होता है. और आपने देखा कि विल कब अफेक्ट होता है, अगर आप प्रॉपर रेस्ट नहीं कर रहे हो, अगर आप प्रॉपर स्लीप नहीं ले रहे हो, और आप अपने आप को पॉजिटिव एलिमेंट में नहीं लेके जा रहे हो. ये मैंने स्लाइड में लिया था कि विल कैसे अफेक्ट होता है. तो विल किस तरीके से अफेक्ट होता है, अगर आप ऐसे लोगों के बीच में, आप स्ट्रेस में रह रहे हो, आप बहुत ओवर टायर्ड हो, आप बहुत ज्यादा स्ट्रेस ले रहे हो, और आप ऐसे लोगों के बीच में हो जहां पे आपको डर है कि कभी आपको फॉल्ट फाइंड करेंगे, तो आपका वीक जो स्ट्रॉन्ग विल है वो वीकनेस की तरफ जाएगा. वही नक्सवामिका में देखा जाता है, क्योंकि नक्सवामिका का परफॉर्मेंस आने वाला है, उसके पहले ही उसने अपने सारी एनर्जी को ड्रेन कर लिया है. वो सोया नहीं है कई रातों से, वो उसने खाया नहीं है कई रातों से, एंड व्हाट हैपेंस इज आर्जेंटम नाइट्रिकम के साथ भी वही होता है. आपको एग्जामिनेशन फंक की रेमेडीज अगर देखोगे आप, तो आर्जेंटम नाइट्रिकम, नास्ट्रोमिका, जेलसीमियम, दे कम. तो क्या होगा, एग्जैक्टली दिस हैपेंस इज दे फॉल सिक जस्ट बिफोर द परफॉर्मेंस एंड दे फील दैट दे कैन नॉट परफॉर्म बिकॉज दे आर वीक इन physically and they feel that they are sick and therefore they cannot perform. Same happens with Naxwamika, same happens with Calcaria because of timidity and sepia also. And the reason is that in sepia they are so much exhausted mentally and physically drained because of failure in relationship, not being appreciated. वही सास बहू की किटकिट, वही काम दिन रात के, and then they feel कि अब जब काम आएगा ना तो मुझसे बिल्कुल नहीं होगा, और हर बार ऐसा ही होता है। पूरी शादियों में मैंने काम किया होता है और जब लास्ट डे आता है तो मेरी सासू माँ किसी और को क्रेडिट दे देती है, इसीलिए मुझे लगता है कि अब काम ही नहीं करना चाहिए, बेटर है कि बीमार पड़ जाओ, बीमारी का कोई बहाना मार लो, एंड ताकि हम काम कर सके। सो दिस इज हाउ योर विल पावर गाइड्स यू। ठीक है, देन विल पावर विल अफेक्ट योर इंटेलेक्ट ऑल्सो, विल पावर विल अफेक्ट योर इमोशनल अंडरस्टैंडिंग एंड योर बिलीफ सिस्टम। बिलीफ सिस्टम क्या है नागस्वामिका की, मैं फेलियर का डर है मुझे, तो वो गाइड कैसे कर रहा है उसका विल कि अरे तुझे फेलियर का डर है ना। अगर पॉजिटिव विल की स्टेज में रहेगा, साइकोसिस और सोरा की फेज में आएगा, अरे कुछ नहीं होता, कम ऑन परफॉर्म, यू हैव टू डू इट। बट अगर सिफिलिटिक फेज में आएगा, मुझसे तो कभी नहीं होने वाला, एंड आई गिव अप। That state of give up is even seen in orums also, and at the later stages of life they go into self apoptosis. And aurum met का जो question किसी ने पूछा था, तो in syphilis they are the people who go into fear of failures, and they feel that they have not achieved something, and therefore bone necrosis and एथेरोस्क्लेरोटिक चेंजेस और कार्डियक फेलियर्स कम हो। और वहीं पर आर्जेंटम भी अगर आप देखते हो, तो आर्जेंटम नाइट्रिकम को बहुत ब्यूटीफुल डिल्यूजन है, उसको फियर ऑफ सैल्वेशन है। आर्जेंटम नाइट्रिकम को लगता है कि अगर डेथ होगी तो वो एक नैरो पैसेज से शायद पास आउट होना पड़ेगा, एंड दैट फियर ऑफ सैल्वेशन इज आल्सो वेरी prominent in argentum. So aurum argentum, they don't even think of this life, but they also, the thoughts of death overpower them. So this is the beauty of materia medica. Then delusion will possessed of two. So this I told you, you compare lachesis and anacardium, and you see how two wills are working. lachesis के साथ भी वही है, they work in contradictory to themselves. एक तरफ lachesis बहुत ब्यूटीफुल, नागमणि क्या बोलते हैं ना उसको, नाग देव क्या बोलते हैं उसको, जो लुभाती है, एंड दे विल कम। और जो पहले के विश कन्या जो होती थी, दे यूज्ड टू लुक सो ब्यूटीफुल एंड दे वुड सेक्सुअली अट्रैक्ट पीपल, एंड दे विल जस्ट ट्राई टू टेक एवरीथिंग, एंड दे आर सो डिसीटफुल दैट after getting deceived, they get deceived because of their revengeful attitude. जिससे उन्होंने प्यार किया उसी को वो किल कर देंगे, उसी को, क्योंकि उनके अंदर वो टू विल से ही काम करेंगे। लैकेसिस अगर आपसे फ्रेंडशिप कर रहा है, एक ये जो टू विल ऑफ एनाकार्डियम है और टू विल ऑफ लैकेसिस दोनों डिफरेंट है, वो कैसे डिफरेंशिएट करोगे आप? तो एनाकार्डियम का जो टू विल है ना, वो एग्जैक्टली आई शो यू, केंट ने बहुत सुंदर तरीके से, आई एम नॉट, सो केंट ने क्या किया है, जब टू विल के बारे में बात की है, तो जब टू विल ऑफ एनाकार्डियम और टू विल ऑफ लैकेसिस जब ये कंपैरिजन हुआ, तो उन्होंने क्या किया, दे हैव शोन द पिक्चर कि एनाकार्डियम का टू विल आपको हर जगह दिख रहा है, आपको उनके टू विल में आपको हर चीज देखने मिल रही है कि वो किस तरीके से अपने आप का टिमिडिटी या सेल्फ डिवैल्यूएशन या खुद को लो फील करना, ये सारी चीजें पहले ओवर पावर होती हैं और फिर वो एग्जीक्यूट होती है। बट जब हम लैकेसिस की बात करते हैं, तो वो जो ट्रू विल है वो वैसा कॉन्ट्राडिक्टरी विल नहीं है, बट व्हाट दे आर डूइंग, देयर इंटेंशंस, देयर मोटिव्स, दे आर मोर डिसीटफुल। सो जो काम कर रहे हैं उसके पीछे, सो दिस टू विल ऑफ लैकेसिस इज मोर ऑफ साइकोसिस, because they show, they pretend to the world something different than what actually they are. So what wish kanya does is that they to show the world that they are very beautiful, they are very appealing to the world, and this is what they are. But exactly they are the taking revenge for few things. So they are having hatred in the heart. They show smile on the face, but they have hatred on the heart. So this is what difference between anacardium and lachesis will be. And also anacardium per se shows difference of will contradiction. You go understand how anacardium describes each and everything. It is out of lack of confidence. Anacardium has got absent-mindedness. Anacardium can be abusive, insultive, both, but anacardium is more towards, they will be affectionate also, but lachesis, they are more abrupt and harsh towards people, and they are being affected because of being deceived and disappointment, which is not there in anacardium. Anacardium has got fright and fear definitely, but more of jealousy and love, disappointment you will see in lachesis. So they are the people who want to take revenge. The will contradiction is because of that anger, that frustration, that revengeful attitude they have inside them. Because anacardium feels that they are being betrayed, they are being stabbed by the people whom he had trusted. They only have lowered down his confidence. So confidence is the problem of anacardium, and whereas lachesis, the problem is not confidence, but the hatred and revenge they have. So any doubt with this part? I think beautifully you will understand how will plays an important role in selecting a remedy, and how the intention of the person is very important to know how he has led his life. Then weak willed people will definitely have fear, panic attacks, overpowering, and those people who have these fear and panic attacks, overpowering, because of which they cannot work or execute in a proper way, and they face lot of issues, and they go panic stricken, and the mind then doesn't work, and they cannot see. When you are in the fear mode, again, as I have taught this many a times, that there is a sympathetic system and there is a parasympathetic system of the body, and when you are in the fear mode, that is, you are in the survival mode, that time your sympathetic activity is more activated, and because of the sympathetic activity you cannot take a right decision, your willpower get weakened, and because of वो बोलते हैं ना, fear में you get freezed, you get freezed so much that mind काम करना बंद कर देता है. आपको पता है जब आईफिल टावर में, आईफिल टावर नहीं, दैट वाज द न्यूयॉर्क का सबसे बड़ा, या कहीं भी ले लो आप, जब आग लगती है, people are feared by so much that they get panic and they try to jump from the building, though it is from 23rd floor, 25th floor, or 50th floor even, and they know that their mind doesn't work कि यहाँ तो आग से मरेंगे, वहां तो कूद के भी मर जाएंगे, because there is no savior, but because of that fear being overpowering, the willpower or the intellectual faculty gets abandoned, and they don't know how to treat. And because of that fear also, they take some attempts which they don't know, and they just cannot take a right decision at that moment. And because of that fear overpowering, they take a decision which can take the life of the person also. So this is how willpower can be connected to fear overpowering in this way. So how the person behaves to a disaster. अभी हम बहुत अच्छे से देखते हैं कि कोविड टाइम में हमने बहुत सारे पेशेंट्स देखे, है ना. कोविड में बहुत अलग अलग सिचुएशंस थी. कोविड में कुछ लोग ऐसे थे जो बहुत डेयर डेविल की तरफ एक्ट कर रहे थे. दे वर वेरी ऑडेशियस. They were the people who were taking a lot of risk, and they would just go out and help the society. और किसी ने एनिमल्स के लिए सर्व किया, किसी ने फूड सर्व किया, किसी ने डेड बॉडीज को डिस्पोज करने के लिए सर्व किया. They had overpowered their panic attacks, but they did not allow the fear to overpower them, right? So they could serve for the society for the higher purposes. But those people who did not allow their fears, there is a literature which is coming up that shows that maximum deaths happened during COVID was because of that fear and fright which the patients had experienced, and when they were moved away from the family, they succumbed to death. So that succumbed to death of fear and panic because their willpower they had given up. Doctors say I can only save the patient when he has got the willpower to get better. The best of the best remedies fail to act if they resist the cure process and they want to leave and go. So this is what happens. Why aurum is your arsenic, is your argentum, because internally they are very timid people. They cannot overpower their fears, and in the later phases of life they let the anxiety overpower them and they go into panic attacks, and therefore they have weird behaviors. Therefore remedies like belladonna is also coming up, medorina, merc, Nakshomika, Kalis are coming up, because Kalis are the people who are very anxious, and in syphilitic phases they get more than anxious, they get panic attack. पता नहीं क्या हो जाएगा, क्या हो जाएगा, क्या हो जाएगा, अरे क्या हो जाएगा, पहले उसके पहले ही दे गो इनटू कार्डियक अरेस्ट, दे विल गो इनटू सम इलनेसेस. हमने बहुत लोगों को सुना था कोविड के टाइम पे कि न्यूज सुनी एंड दे हैड अ मैसिव कार्डियक अटैक. So what happened was, in them their willpower could not guide them कि अरे कोई बात नहीं, हमको हमारी स्ट्रेंथ को बचा के रखना है, हमको हमारे इमोशनल फेस को बचा के रखना है. आपने एक पंजाबी मूवी है, आई डोंट रिमेम्बर वेयर, इट इज बेस्ड अपॉन द पीपल हु वर ओनली 25 फाइटर्स हु फॉट अगेंस्ट 200 gunmen. Kesari, yes. That Kesari movie is a beautiful example for describing the willpower, because that is the strong will those fighters had, the Sikh fighters had against the Englishmans, that they could fight so beautifully and so bravely. So bravery is again a faculty belonging to strong will. And there is a time where they went into panic attacks, and because of that panic attack, if someone gives away, then they die, they succumb to death, because this is what is syphilitic. So strength doesn't come from physical capacity, it comes from indomitable will. So this is what Mahatma Gandhi has told about willpower, and I think this is what explanation, how much explanation I